laid waste and way behind at number 2 nationally. As they count, the CFP rankings from the committee will start up Thanksgiving, Halloween night, and through Thanksgiving. And then the first Sunday afternoon in December, we'll get Selection Sunday college football. So we're, week and a half away from the first CFP rankings release. And by the way, today we did have Penn State plays top 10 team. Penn State loses to top 10 team yet again. At Ohio State, it was 20-12 the final. Last time Penn State beat a top 10 team on the road was 15 years ago in a low-scoring game at Ohio State.
I'll get it right here.
Well, we got baseball going on right now. And yeah, in the NLCS, the series is tied at 2 games apiece. On Thursday with Friday with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the WJOL
Playoff Pairings show. Believe it or not, we're back.
And then a 1-out.
Glad to be here. By the way, everyone, Happy New Year. Welcome to the 2023 IHSA postseason. We are here for, I don't know, Coach Joe, 5-6 hours at least?
Sunrise. When he pitched at Philadelphia.
Yeah, so the Sunrise Mass starts Sunday morning at 1340 WJOL. We will be here. So again, here is how the show is going to run down. By the way, hello to everybody. Record audience, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube Live right now. Hello to everybody watching us. Joe, I think we have someone in particular to say hello to.
I have to say hello to my little girl, Rowan. Hi, Rowan. And Mason, their home Mason. I'm glad you guys are watching.
By the way, I want it perfectly clear. I did not punch Coach Joe in the mouth.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
No, he did not.
No, I am not that kind.
North Carolina needed a late field
So
goal
again,
just to take
we
the halftime
will
lead of Virginia.
we will definitely be checking in. We will be taking phone calls. You can DM us as well. Horrible echo on the audio, so we'll have to work on that. We've had that problem before here. We appreciate the heads up from everybody on YouTube Live, letting us know. We'll try to get that squared away. Gentlemen, we are going to kind of overview things right now. Again, pairings are not going to be released officially until a little bit after 8 o'clock on the IHSA pairing show on TV. So obviously, we're not able to provide any details on any brackets, if you will. So it's kind of like the Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. So, all right, joining us this evening, an esteemed crew, because basically the only ones that came in, so I guess that makes them esteemed. You know, we love them from Thursday nights, the one and only Coach Joe. Joe, welcome.
Hello, Ed. Good to be here.
Also joining us, the longtime veteran play-by-play voice, the Velvet play-by-play voice, if you will. One, Dave Dwyer, Dewey Dwyer. Hello, Dewey.
Guys, how you doing?
Good.
Glad to have you aboard, and probably
the one name in here with the
last name Dwyer, but probably the most football knowledge out of Dwyer. Daniel Dwyer sitting right next to me as well. So we will have Daniel here helping us out throughout the evening. Phil Cantu spinning the dials, and also Tom Schmitty here from sales in the studio as well, helping us out. Dewey, we have some sponsors we have to go over.
The show tonight is brought to you by the law offices of Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes. When you need the very best on your side, Aldred and Rhodes with offices in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, and Wilmington. Your peace of mind is just a click away at odekirklaw.com. Other sponsors tonight, we'll mention more as we go along. Providence Catholic with their open house coming up on November 12th. Our good friend Miguel over at Jody's Hot Dogs.
Yes, for sure.
On Republic. Joe, how was that spread tonight?
It was fantastic. That smash burger was delicious.
In all seriousness, okay, we appreciate that. I'll be honest with you, that was a great hamburger.
It was.
Great hamburger.
Yep.
It was outstanding.
Also want to thank Steve John Wright as well, Edge.
Yep, it's our guy for sure. So again, want to thank our sponsors. Without those sponsors, guys, well, we'd be sitting at home looking at each other. So we certainly appreciate them coming together and joining us. So again, phone lines are open. If you're a usual caller to the Thursday show, you're always welcome to join us. If you're not a usual caller, 254-7300. We will be here all evening. Glad to take your questions. By the way, if you are watching us on YouTube Live, can you DM us and let us know if the echo is still there in the audio? I'm hoping I fixed it. All right, 815-254-7300. Would love to hear from you. Give us a call. We're here for you. Gentlemen, let's go over some things that happened over the past day or two. Stick to the area. Guys, Dewey, I know you and I have been talking about this since last night. Joliet Catholic loses to St. Ignatius. Dewey, just not a good loss.
Not a good loss. A lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties. You really want to have momentum going into the playoffs. Health and momentum, I think, are hand in hand of importance, especially this time of year. But, Joliet Catholic, of course, lost to St. Rita. I think you probably look back at that one, Edge, if you're going to question a loss. Even though they had mistakes last night, that Rita game earlier this year was in their hands, and they just let it get away.
Yeah, and again, when the seeding comes out, I mean, it's basically, from what I can tell you right now, it took you from a home game to a road game is what it did.
Yes, for sure.
And that's just incredibly unfortunate. Joe,
sir,
you were at the Emerald Isle. You were able to welcome the Celtics into the state playoff field, which again, we were relatively confident they'd get it done last night. And they did.
Sure. Yes.
Thoughts from that ball game?
Providence really looked good last night. I know the score was 35-28, but I thought the game was in hand. Maybe not for Coach Plants at the end of the game, but I just thought it was in hand. I mentioned to David and to you today, Leo Slepsky, the sophomore quarterback, 1,000 times better throwing the football last night than he was the first time we saw him. And realistically, the game was settled in the second quarter. After Providence would have had 14-7, Slepsky to Gibson, a 26-yard pass. Bennett drove the ball down. Freshman Jalen McMiller intercepted a pass in the end zone. First play from scrimmage, 80 yards for a touchdown to make it 21-7. The first play Bennett had on the ensuing drive, Jalen McMillan intercepted a pass, went 23 yards for a touchdown. It was 28-7. And that was at the 6:15 mark of the second quarter. And basically that was the game. Bennett did score right before halftime, make it 28-14, but then Providence scored a touchdown with less than 10 minutes to go to make it 35-14. And Bennett scored 2 touchdowns late in the game, but Providence looked very good. This is the best I've seen them offensively all year.
Well, there you go. I had a chance to go out to Kankakee last night, gentlemen. Watched the Kankakee K's top-ranked team and one of the top-ranked teams in 6A take on Crete Monee guys, and tell you what,
He's pretty good.
They're pretty good. Guys, you talk about speed. That team has got some speed between Lorenz, the quarterback, and Tony Phillips, and their defense is just lean and mean and sideline to sideline. I tell you what, whoever's running them in the 6A, they're going to have their hands full. Mm-hmm. It could be an incredibly interesting matchup down the road with an East St. Louis.
Yeah,
really interesting if those two would ever get matched up together. So, again, very, very interesting game. Well, the story of the playoffs, and so far, and again, once the brackets come out, we'll have a better idea. But again, first of all, shout out to our guy Steve Susi from Friday Night Drive, who, again, he's going to join us later. That's the kind of nut he is. He's been up for like 48 hours, but he still wants to come on our show, talks. So he'll want to come on with us. And, I tell you what, it is, it's amazing what he's able to do and how quickly he puts this together and how accurate he is.
That's the thing, how accurate he is with all the brackets.
So the big storyline are the 4 and 5 teams. I believe when it's all said and done, there's going to be 5 or 6 4 and 5 teams in the field, guys. That's unheard of. So what does that tell us, Joe? What does that tell us going into these brackets, that you needed 5 to 6 4 and 5 teams to fill out the 256?
A lot of parity.
Well, I feel better. It took me 9 weeks to feel better, but I keep going through rankings, and it's like, and you look, we've been pretty fortunate in the Big Five. We haven't had too many changes. Oh, right. By the way, we're going to have a change going into next week. So warn everybody, you're getting the text tomorrow morning. But I mean, I'm going through and changing rankings. I'm like, God, I'm terrible. I'm suck. But you look at, and 2 or 3 power teams we watch TV today.
Yes.
Carmel, and Loyola. Maybe 1 or 2 others. I certainly put Lincoln Way East in that class.
For sure.
Guys outside of that, it's anyone's business. Yeah. Agree? Disagree?
I agree.
Do we?
Well, it's like you said, it's parity. You look at the numbers, the win-losses, obviously that's what allows the 4 and 5 teams to get in. You could look at 1 of 2 ways. You could say a lot of teams played good teams and it just shook out that way, or you could say there's more parity. And I agree with what you said, Edge. Besides your top-tier teams this year, it's the all other.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. By the way, I want to thank everyone watching right now. Huge numbers on YouTube Live, which we greatly appreciate. Brian Stone sent us a DM, guys. Is there anyone in Class 6A that can take down East St. Louis? Well, Brian, we just talked a little bit. I saw Kankakee Friday night. I think athletically that could be an interesting matchup. But, boy, Joe, you've seen them.
Yes.
They're awfully good.
They are. They are really good.
Joe, our friend Rita's out there.
Yes, hello, Rita.
So Rita's joining us. I don't know if you saw that earlier, but again, she's heading back from Wisconsin.
Yep.
Excited. Everybody's excited. Can't wait to hear about the pairings. Our friend Carla is out there. Dewey, one of our diehard Joliet Catholic fans.
There you go.
Carla's out there. Rita's out there. We'll try to get all these up here if we can. Want to make sure I don't crash the system. So again, 815-254-7300. You can call us or plug in via the phone line. You can DM us. We'll always take your comments, and if they're not horrible, we use them. It's all cool.
Right.
It's all good.
That's right.
But what are you guys looking for as far as the area is concerned? Who do you want to? I think the big question going into this is going to be, because we've got 2 or 3 teams, guys, that have been sitting on that fence for a while on the bubble fence. I think it's going to be interesting to see where that falls.
Well, I think, as far as 4 and 5 teams are concerned, I'm very interested to see Plainfield North, because if they've got, I think it's 50 playoff points. That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're right up there. Providence has 53, but we know Providence is in at 5 and 4.
Yep.
It's just, you just wonder about Lamont, what their draw will be, and the tone is in to see what their draw is. And I'm more interested in Joliet Catholic.
Yeah.
Just to see where their path has to go.
Yep. Dewey?
Well, I mean, I think this year you look at 2 teams that are very exciting, Joliet West and Lincoln Way Central. What does it lie for them?
What a great story.
Yep.
That's what we talked about Thursday, Joe and I got into it. I think people not in the area don't realize how down football had been at Joliet West for a long time, and the success they've had, and just the fact, I don't care who they're playing, they go 8-1, you're a good team.
Right.
And the way they've been able to get it done. Hey, guys, we're going to go out to the phone lines. Our good friend Greg joins us. Greg, good evening. Happy New Year.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
It is.
How you doing, guys?
We're good.
Greg.
So what are you looking forward to, friend?
I got a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. I was listening last night, and I was so glad that Mr. Scuzzi mentioned about Lincoln Way Central and Lincoln Way West, because they really didn't get – I didn't – I know you guys talk them up, but, in the papers and everything else around here, I don't think they've been getting enough ink. And I think they're going to do something in the playoffs. I agree with Mr. Scuzzi on that count.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I actually, Joe, we talked Thursday about, from Greg, from an ink standpoint. Can't remember one story where I've seen anyone talk about the overall success of the Lincoln Ways this year. It's a little strange.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you, on the other side of town, I'm a little concerned. I've been to the Lincoln Way East games recently, and 2 of the past 3 weeks, they've come out and really played clunks in the first half. I mean, against HF and Bolingbrook. Finally, their passing game hasn't been really clicking. And the other night, They just came out and ran the ball the second half and finally took control over Bolingbrook. But I'm a little concerned because I don't see them. They haven't been behind all year.
Right.
So if they did get behind against a good team, I think they might have a problem. And I hope I'm wrong. Put it that way.
Yeah, we hope you're wrong all the way to Illinois State in the state final.
Yeah.
But there
sure.
are concerns, Greg. I mean, Joe, you just look at that final score and you scratch your head a little bit. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I mean, you just wonder, and I consider all the coaches very smart. Z is probably one of the smartest guys out there. Dewey and I saw them against Lockport, and they threw the ball pretty well against Lockport. Hit some big plays. Maybe they're just not showing a lot right now. That's tough for me to say, and maybe for people to believe, but you just never know, Greg. Believe me, they will be ready next week. They'll be ready to go.
Well, I hope so. It's more a matter of, dropping balls, overthrowing wide receivers, and fumbles. And I think they lead all of high school football, and touchdowns being called back because of holding penalties. So it's like self-inflicted stuff,
Yep. Well, we certainly will keep an eye on that. And listening later, Greg, we're going to have all the area coaches on, including all three Lincoln Way coaches. You'll hear from them and get the reaction once the brackets are released.
Oh, great. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Greg. Thanks for calling.
You got it.
All right. Greg drops off 815-254-7300. Dewey?
This is a question for you, Edge, from Reese Johnson. What's the highest class Lena Winslow would be competitive in?
This is a good question. I'd say 3, 4.
3 maybe.
3?
Yeah.
Maybe middle of the pack and 4.
Well, here's his comment after that. He says, their run is absolutely amazing, and that style of football translates. Obviously, manpower might be an issue as the classes get higher.
100% agree.
Yeah, I totally agree.
No
with
doubt.
that also.
No doubt. Reese, thanks for the question. It's a good one.
Yes, it is.
We'll talk about once we get past the witching hour at 8:00. We'll dig in a little bit, and we'll talk some small school ball. Got Matt Lang in the bullpen.
My guy.
Got the big guy sitting in the bullpen, just warming up
his mouth is watering right now.
Oh God, he's like, okay, when are they gonna call me? When are they gonna call me? 815-254-7300. We got a few minutes left here, and then we're going to take a quick break. We are going to go to ABC News at the top of the hour. So otherwise, your first 5 minutes of IHSA TV is going to be not much of anything. So we'll come back and we'll follow it. And as soon as the brackets are released, we will discuss as well. Dewey?
Tonight's show is brought to you in part by the law offices of Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes. When you need the very best on your side, Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes, with offices in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, and Wilmington. Your peace of mind is just a click away at odekirklaw.com.
All right. And again, want to thank them for sponsoring not just this show, but sponsoring high school football all year long. Definitely great to have them. And, Joe, if there's anyone that needs lawyers to sponsor them, it's us. No doubt.
Especially when the people are listening to us.
Yeah, no
doubt
about it. No doubt about it. So again, just thrilled to be here. We're like you. We're chomping at the bit. We're waiting to get to the brackets and get after it. Other Bob. Oh, we got to go out to the phone lines. Other Bob joins us. Hello, Other Bob.
Hello, fellas. How you doing?
What time does the tailgate start tonight, sir?
Tailgate tonight. No tailgate tonight.
Okay.
Hey, I was just thinking, with all the teams that are sneaking in at 4 and 5, there's a handful of teams in that bubble who didn't make it in or won't make it in. Who among those do you think could have made some real noise in the playoffs?
Wow.
Maybe Nazareth?
Oh, I think they're in.
They're in? Okay.
Yeah, I think they're in. I think Marist missed out. I think Marist was one of the last cuts, if I'm not mistaken. Other Bob, we got to be a little careful what we can talk about here, so I hope you understand that.
Yes. I think he does.
I get it. I just thought I'd throw something out there.
I know. Well, I tell you what.
Ideas
I tell you what, and again, we talked about one of the storylines is going to be the 4 and 5s getting in. There are, I think it's either 5 or I want to say it's 6. I'm going to say 6, 4, and 5s get in. There's going to be a lot of talk about them after the bracket's been released, and we'll be talking about it as well. Okay.
And the hottest team you think who has a chance to go deep?
How about, I got a couple. How about Wheaton St. Francis right now?
That was the one I was going to throw out there.
They have been playing very, very good football. And even though they're going to wind up 4-5, Naz is going to take that step down to where they're going to be. And it won't be easy, guys, but they've done it before.
Yes, they have.
I think they could do it again.
Well,
Dewey, anyone you can think of?
Well, I'll touch on Naz a little bit. I think that's a story of them dropping down what Providence did for years when they would play the schedule like Naz did this year and
100%
drop
agree.
down and be ready because they're coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that too.
100%. Yeah, there's
One
no
final thing that I'll let you guys go. I'm actually doing a little different tonight. I've got it on YouTube on the TV.
Okay.
And it's coming across really clean.
And we are, look at us. We are made for television, the three of us. Believe it or not, I was really worried about Dewey joining the mix. Dewey brings a distinguished look to the show that we so desperately need.
We need some type of look, Bob.
Telling you, Dewey's more handsome on YouTube than he's ever been in his life.
And Daniel's laughing.
Thanks for doing the show tonight.
You bet, bud.
It's always fun to hear your opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't believe our own opinions either, but we enjoy listening to them. Thanks, Bob.
Yes, thanks, Bob.
All right, other Bob drops off. You didn't see that one coming, did you?
No, I didn't see that one for you. But I have one for you that you might not know about.
Fire away.
There's been a rating of the officials that's gone on every broadcast.
Oh,
game.
yeah. They actually talked a little bit last night on the broadcast. I was driving back.
Well, it went down.
I was out of a game at 9:20 last night. You know how nice that is?
Yeah.
7 o'clock kickoff.
A little chilly out there, though, wasn't it?
It was a little chilly out in the greater Kankakee area. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Had a couple of deer waving to me on the way home. That was nice. That was nice. Bambi and her cousin. It was not very nice.
Using your blinkers too, weren't you?
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Robert Jones said, Dewey, 2024. You know what? I voted for worse.
Here we go.
815-254-7300. Okay, all seriousness aside, we need to do this. Otherwise, we're all going to be in big trouble.
Yes.
I want to thank Denise O'Halloran. I want to thank Deb Rodegaro. I want to thank Charlie Dwyer. And Phil, your wife, lovely wife, Mallory. And Schmitty, his wife. I know we've met. Schmitty's wife's been in here before. Want to wish you all happy, sweetest day.
Yes.
We're sorry we're doofuses, and this is our big night of the year. But thank you for understanding. And if we all forgot, then we've all been covered. So
there you go.
So thank you, wives of the show. So appreciate it. I kind of forgot. Don't hate me. Don't hate me, YouTube. Kind of forgot.
Edge, I forgot one more.
Yes, sir.
My other granddaughter Annabelle is also watching, so I want to say
I'm
hello
sure
to
they're all
Annabelle.
watching. Get it all out there, Joe. I don't want you getting in trouble now.
Well, my daughter's over at the house watching it on
You already
TV
got
too.
one. You already took one shot. I don't want you taking another. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Again, phone lines open for a few more minutes. 815-254-7300. I think another part of the story that we kind of forget about up here, and it's kind of a natural to not pay a ton of attention. Guys, I think we have to start looking a little harder at 8-man football.
It's
and I
growing.
think 8-man football is, again, one of the reasons why we have more 4 and 5s in this year.
You are correct.
Just saying, there's more and more schools, guys, that are playing 8-man football, and it's going to continue to grow. And it's just natural progression. The numbers are going to pull away from 11-man 1A through 8A football. I think that's part of the story as well.
Well, you've been to it.
Yes.
You've watched it firsthand.
It's football.
What's the overall differences you see?
I tell you what, if you're a running back, you love 8-man football because there's just more room to operate. If you're a receiver, there's more room to operate. Dewey, it's football. They're running double wing. I mean, they're doing all the power stuff that you would see with 11-man football. It's just 3 less dudes, 2 less linemen and a skill kid, but they're still doing it.
Yep.
You go through and you look at the formations, guys. They're very, very similar. It's similar philosophies, and ironically, you will find more power running football in 8-man than you do, 5 wide and chuck it and throw it around the field.
And that may surprise a lot of people.
I think it does, but again, this is the state of Illinois, and it is in the winter. And the further you go, as we well know, you've got to be able to run the football.
And a lot of people may think 8-man football is like flag football, but it's the farthest thing from it. So I just, when we talked about that you saw those games, and I think eventually it's going to be a sanctioned sport, as you mentioned a couple of weeks ago, Edge.
Yeah. Carlo Sesta brings up a great point that I wanted to get to tonight, but thanks to Carlo for bringing it up now. What do you think about Morris's victory over Sycamore? They look good.
Yeah, it's a really good Morris team. And again, they're one of the stories. We're going to find out. Do they go 5A? Do they go 4A? I don't care what A. I think they're really good this year. I really do.
I really think, Carlo, that they made the statement when they hammered Richmond Burton. That was their jumping point, in my opinion, to get them ready for that game last night.
Yeah.
And for the playoffs.
I talked to Rob Osterley earlier this week, and I asked him, because we know Rob covers Morris a lot, and I said, since Durgo, he said 100%.
Yeah, and it should be.
Yep.
Very offensively. We'll have Alan Thorson on a little bit later in the 8 o'clock hour when their bracket gets released. Back now.
There we go.
But again, sorry about the little bit of a tech issue there. Popped in and out. It'll do that on occasion, just every once in a while. So we will stay on top of that. But again, thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for watching us on YouTube Live. But hey, you know what? We've got about another minute, Phil? We got about another minute, and then we're going to take a break. We're going to stop at the top 8 o'clock hour for ABC News. Dewey, you got a couple sponsors there we need to cover?
I want to thank Providence Catholic and remind you to mark your calendars for Sunday, November 12th, when Providence Catholic High School in New Lenox will host its annual open house for all grade school families. Become a Celtic and become something greater. Also would like to thank State Farm agent John Wright for the real deal on insurance at the right price. Call State Farm agent John Wright at 815-725-5052. And our good friend Miguel over at Jody's Hot Dogs on Republic Avenue. Stop by Jody's Chicago-style hot dogs and more. And do we mean more? And guys, you can say for yourselves, tonight was more.
Smash burger.
It was absolutely delicious.
Smash burger.
Yes.
Get a smash burger. Excellent. All right. That's going to do it. We're going to step aside. We're going to take a break. Let everybody get up, go to the bathroom. If you're other Bob, finish tailgating, whatever you're doing. And then we'll come back and we'll start breaking down brackets, and then we'll start talking about 1A through 8A. Then we'll bring in area coaches. We'll get into it. We'll break our own brackets down. We'll take your phone calls. It's all about you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about you. But we're having a lot of fun, too. This is the WJOL Playoff Pairings Show on 1340. WJOL Will County's News Talk Sports. Don't go away. We'll be back after ABC News.
Mark your calendars for Sunday, November 12th, when Providence Catholic High School in New Lenox will host its annual open house for all grade school families. Providence is known for its top-ranked programs in academics, fine arts, and athletics, where they have more state championships than any other private school in the state. Did you know that Providence Catholic High School has extensive scholarship and grant programs to make it affordable for all 8th grade families? Want to learn more or visit the school? Go to providencecatholic.org for more information. Become a Celtic and become something greater.
At Jiffy Lube, it's our job to keep you moving. With a full range of services from oil changes and tire rotations to filters, wipers, and more, plus at select locations, batteries and tire services, we've got what your car needs. So you're ready for whatever's next. Putting you in the driver's seat of car care? That's a job for Jiffy. An appointment is never needed for any service at Jiffy Lube. For locations and services, go to ChicagolandJiffyLube.com.
From the Abri Credit Union Studio, this is Will County's News Talk Sports, WJOL. Joliet.
I'm Mike Dubusky. Israel's defense forces are massed on the border of Gaza, but we still don't know when an expected assault on Hamas will come or what it will look like. ABC's Inez de la Quatera reports from Jerusalem.
Earlier this week, we saw the Israeli Prime Minister and the Israeli Defense Minister heading down to the border to visit troops and deliver remarks that were meant to lift spirits there. But the big question is why the IDF hasn't yet moved forward. And with news of those hostages being released, there are questions as to whether the IDF might be waiting for additional hostages here to be released.
2 American hostages were released by Hamas on Friday, giving a glimmer of hope to the parents of 22-year-old Omer Wenkert, who's among the hostages still in captivity. His mom says her son needs medication.
Why he doesn't get medicine now?
Medical supplies and food did enter Gaza today, the first 20 truckloads of humanitarian aid to enter the country since the war began 2 weeks ago.
Amid the growing humanitarian crisis, aid crossed into Gaza via the Rafah border with Egypt, but only 20 of the 200-plus vehicles that have been waiting for days at that border were allowed in. Doctors Without Borders calling the number totally insufficient. Aid workers are saying that supplies will be distributed to civilians, many very desperate for food, water, medical supplies.
ABC's Phil Lipoff. Residents in Washington County, Maryland have been asked to be vigilant while police search for a suspect in the shooting death of a judge in his driveway on Thursday. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says they are searching for Pedro Argote after his car was found today in a wooded area.
We don't feel that the community's at risk here in Williamsport or the surrounding areas. We just ask that you avoid the search area.
Officials say they believe Argote shot and killed Maryland Circuit Court Judge Andrew Wilkinson hours after Wilkinson presided over a divorce case involving Argote. You're listening to ABC News.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-737-9944. That's 1-800-737-9944. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-737-9944. That's 1-800-737-9944.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
2 upstate New York hospitals were hit with cyber attacks Saturday, prompting patients to be moved and ambulances to be diverted. Those facilities were Health Alliance Hospital in Kingston, along with Margaretville Hospital. Officials say systems will be offline tomorrow as they try to restore their secure network. A high school senior in Jackson, Mississippi has received more than $1.4 million in college scholarships only 2 months into the school year. 17-year-old Dana Bolden, who attends Jim Hill High School, tells ABC News she got going in early August once the fall term began.
I started making my list for colleges around the summertime, and once school started, I just decided to go ahead and knock it out and start applying to a bunch of schools. And I didn't think that I would get to this point of $1.4 million in scholarships, but I'm very grateful that I am.
Bolden's academic advisor says this is the first time the school has seen someone get more than $1 million this early in the school year. A South Carolina teen made history after being elected the first black homecoming queen in her school's 155-year-old history. 17-year-old Amber Wilson DiBriano is a senior at the predominantly white Porter Goud High School in Charleston, South Carolina.
There have been other black girls who have been a part of the court, but I am lucky enough to say that I have been the first African-American to win the title of homecoming queen.
This is ABC News.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like Certainty Landmark Pro, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through November, purchase Certainty through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Well, of course, you'd expect nothing less than that from us. Happy rockin' New Year's Eve, everybody. It's official. The hamster wheel is functioning. The IHSA is spinning the wheel. The machine's in order, and they are releasing brackets. Class 1A has just been released. So we are going to discuss and break down Class 1A. Joining us on the show, we'll have to get a camera on him. We'll work on that. The one, the only, Daniel Dwyer, making his 1340 WJOL in-studio appearance. No pressure, kid, okay? Daniel will fill us in on the Class 1A bracket. Daniel, go right ahead.
First round, we have Lena L. Winslow versus Rockford Lutheran.
Yep, very good.
Forreston versus Ottawa Marquette.
Okay.
Kewanee.
That's okay. You're close.
Weathersfield versus Mackinac Deer Creek.
You do realize when he's like 20 years old someday, there's going to be a tape of this somewhere, and he's going to try to beat all of us. So you're doing fine, pal. Keep going.
Morrison versus Fulton.
Yep, very good.
Toulon versus Princeville.
Yep.
Sterling Newman Central Catholic versus Oneida.
Yep.
Chicago Hope Academy versus Peru.
Okay.
Aura versus Gibson City.
Yep, very good.
Camp Point versus Bridgeport. Hayworth versus Hardin, Calhoun.
Mm-hmm.
Belleville Althoff Catholic versus Tuscola.
Yep.
Leroy versus Villa Grove.
Yep.
Cesar Villar.
Yeah, Cesar Valier.
Cesar Valier versus Carrollton. Catlin South Fork.
It's Salt Fork.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, Salt Fork.
You're good. Against West Central Co-op.
Greenfield versus Nokomis.
Yep.
And then Casey versus Toledo.
Yeah, Casey Westerfield versus Toledo. So again, that is the 1A bracket. IHSA is putting 2A out right now. And I think, guys, should we come back to 1A with Matt Lang?
Yes.
Dave?
Yep.
Let's go to 2A. And then in the meantime, Phil, can you get Jeff Reintz on the phone here in a moment?
Yep.
So very good, Daniel. Thank you. Excellent job in Class 1A. And guys, don't go away if you're listening online. We definitely will come back and revisit 1A. But we're going to wait till we have our expert in here. We will go through and also talk about the entire bracket. We'll have Matt Lang. We will break it down with him as well. So we're going to try to get Jeff Reintz lined up. They're about to, we're waiting on IHSA to announce the bracket. So give us a couple of minutes here, and we're going to get a hold of Jeff Reintz. Guys, as far as 1A is concerned, Lino, it's anything, Joe, out of that Northwest Upstate Conference, the NUIC. It is truly, Joe, where's your microphone?
Daniel's got it.
Oh, he does. Well, now you got it. I was like,
it,
Joe, why don't you have a mic?
I have to give it to my godchild.
I mean, really, it's anything in that Northwest Upstate Illini, including Lena Winslow. That's just, it's stacked.
Yeah, they are the definitely class of that conference in the northern part of the state, and rightfully so. They're 9-0 and the number one seed in 1A.
Yeah, no, absolutely no doubt about it. So again, they are absolutely stacked. I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Jeff Reintz. And the veteran head coach, the senior coach of the greater Will County area joins us, and we are thrilled to have him in. Coach, Happy New Year and welcome aboard.
Oh, hey, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on. What a great night. Great night for us, particularly 27 years of being on with you guys straight for a playoff pairing show for our program. So
it's amazing.
Very special night for us.
It's amazing we still get paid to do this. It's crazy.
And Jeff, you still pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, for you guys, anytime.
All right, so you can finally get off that fence because we know how painful that can be. But you are in Class 2A.
Yeah, that we did not know that, and I think 2 to 3 weeks ago, it was Lanin toward 2A, and then last week there was upsets galore, especially at the 1A level. And I kind of said, well, we're probably 3. And so a lot of things happened last night, as they always do, week 9, and we find ourselves in 2A. And so, obviously very happy for the opportunity to play. And, and then, you got to, people say, oh, hey, you dropped to 2A and you're this, and you'll be able to do all this. Then you look at our bracket in 2A.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that, Jeff, real quick.
There's a 9-0. There's 2 9-0s.
Yep.
There's 3 9-0. Oh, there's 4 9-0s in your North. And so for 2A North, the way I was looking at that, that's pretty good now. There's some great teams in there.
So again, just to recap real quick for the fans, in the upper part of 2A, where Jeff's talking about, they are in the upper part of the 2A bracket. Seneca, the 1 seed, they are going to host South Dwight, basically. Dwight Gardner, South Wilmington Co-op. The winner of that plays Westville and Taylor Ridge Rock Ridge. Second round potential opponent for Wilmington would be the winner of Tri-Valley. Oh, gee, there's a name you haven't played before.
Yeah, I think you've seen those guys
and El
before.
Paso Gridley. And then, Jeff, obviously you open up taking on Mercer County. Again, some very familiar names to you.
Yeah. The one thing is, Mercer County, we got to do a little homework on, but they've perennial been, that's the Aledo area in the western part of the state. They played very good football over there. We played the Illini West from over there, Rock Ridge, the Macomb area, and that's always really good football. And so we're fortunate that we're going to be hosting. Obviously, we have to, talk to them a little bit about what time and stuff, but we got a quality opponent definitely coming over to our place, and so we got to be ready for that. But when you look, just like you guys said, when you look overall at everything of that 2A North, I think Maroa Forsyth might be there too. Is that right, guys? On the northern part of that?
Yeah, looking at it. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's.
So you've got
there's a lot
Maroa.
of good football going to be played there now.
You've got Maroa Forsyth. You've got Moments on that side of the bracket. You also have Bloomington Central Catholic, another 9-0.
Yep.
And Farmington in the northern part.
Yeah. So I mean that's going to be something else. So we're happy. Like I said, we're concentrating. We're going to start studying and getting our act together here with Mercer County. Like I said, they're coming from a really good division over there. They play really good football, and we got a great test ahead of us. But tonight for me is getting a lot of homework done and stuff. It's also to celebrate our regular season, which the kids I think have done a great job of going from game 1 to game 9 and improving. And can we continue to play good football?
Well, that was a question you just kind of stole, Coach Reentz. Just wanted to ask you, you've done this as long as you have at such a high level, but I think you and your staff has to take pride through 9 weeks, because obviously we've seen a lot of your teams, and this one is what I call prototypical Coach Reentz team. And what I mean by that is when you guys walked in the door before the season and you started week 1, and here we are week 9, you guys have progressively improved and as far as I'm concerned, are peaking at the right time.
No, yeah, I appreciate that, Dewey. Yeah, we start off with a great team. Seneca, who's the number 1 seed, and well deserved. They're a great football team, so we come out against them, and then we go from there. And then we like any coach, you're making your adjustments. You're trying to, put the pieces together. You're dealing with some injuries, and one thing that happened is early in the season we dealt with some injuries. We moved some kids around. We had to move some sophomores up. And now that we got healthy, we find that we have some more depth now, okay, because of those injuries and things along those lines. And I think as the season's gone on, those kids have gotten experience. We fit some pieces together a little bit better. And so hopefully we're like you said, we're peaking at the right time. And we got to carry that momentum with us.
Health-wise, how'd you come out of last night?
We're okay. Yeah, we came out okay last night. Kids played really, really well over at Streeter. Did a nice job, and but no, hey, we're fortunate that everybody's healthy right now.
Okay, well, as your favorite radio station, and yes, I'm going to claim that for you. And I know we're not the only one that does your game, but we're the only one that we feel matters, and that's what counts. We have our fingers and toes crossed, and we're really rooting for that Saturday night playoff game, Coach.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
like
No
I tell you
pressure.
every year, I'm going to work on that as hard as I can for you guys, not for anybody else.
There you
Right.
go. There, boy, Jeff.
See, I like
Okay.
that.
Yes.
And we'll try to see what we do. But when I get that information, I'll get that to you. Okay, guys?
100%, my friend. Congratulations. Tell
Yes,
the guys
Jeff.
we said congrats,
Yes.
and we'll talk to you
Yeah,
soon.
good luck, buddy.
Good luck.
Cool, guys. Hey, thanks.
All right.
All right, you'll only hear him here. Jeff Reeds,
That's
head
right.
coach of your Wilmington Wildcats, his favorite radio station.
Yes.
There you go.
1340 WJOL. Was that an endorsement, Daniel, or no? Yeah, sure it was. Of course it was. All right. I know the IHSA is getting into 3A, and we do have some teams in 3A. Guys, just thoughts on Wilmington. Joe?
They're hitting the ground running right now. I think they're a very dangerous team. I know the top part of the bracket does some outstanding teams that Jeff was talking about, but again, they are a machine, as Dewey mentioned to Jeff, and we've seen it firsthand and up close and personal. And I just think they're going to be an awfully tough out. I really do. I think they can get there.
Yeah, I do too. Boy, it's so ironic to see them potentially matching up with Seneca,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, you know that entire town. Well, I told the story on Pigskin the one night. I actually drove through Seneca. We went to dinner out there one night, and Dewey, they still had signage up for beating Wilmington.
Sure.
So that was pretty shocking. All right, so IHSA is releasing 3A, and they're in the southern part. So we're going to try to reach out to Coach Tully when we get a minute here. I'm hoping he joins us. Phil, you want to dial him up on the list, and we'll try to bring him in. By the way, guys, if you are a Piatone fan, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. If you're wondering if you haven't seen it on the TV yet, they have released the 3A bracket, and Piatone will be on the road at Chicago Crane. Joe, do the Crane.
Game over.
I'm doing my Crane on the YouTube. I'm not sure where Crane plays. I'm going to guess it's going to wind up being like Eckersall or one of those deals. But again, I think we're able to contact Coach Tully, so we'll talk to him a little bit about his draw.
Yes.
And we'll take it from there, guys. Dewey, got a sponsor?
High school playoff pairing show is brought to you by our good friends, the law offices of Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes. We thank them very much.
All right, we certainly thank them. And Joe?
Yes, sir.
Our guy's back.
Yeah, he is.
Our guy's back.
I guess he does like us.
We owe him and his kids ice cream. I haven't forgotten
That's
that.
right.
But we are thrilled to bring Coach Tully back from the Tone. Coach, welcome aboard.
You guys remember that?
Oh, we haven't forgotten about that yet. with
We
the
do
ice
not
cream.
forget about ice cream,
No,
sir.
Not about ice cream.
Good to talk to you guys again.
Well, congratulations, and you draw Chicago Crane in the first round. I'm sure you have a full scouting report on them.
Yeah, you probably know a lot more than I do currently right now. So we'll start doing our homework here soon, and we'll get to work for them.
Well, we'll get us caught up. Fill us in on the season. Obviously, a good season for you and your kids. You're back in the playoffs, and give us an idea. What kind of team is this, Tully?
We, first off, very young team. We only got 10 seniors. Only about 5 of them start for us. So a lot of juniors playing for us. We got 2 freshmen starting on our defense for us the last 5 or 6 games of the year. So we've been really, really young. We started off the year a little slow. We were 2-3, lost to 3 really good football teams. The Sandwich Indians, Coal City Kohlers, and the Wilmington Wildcats. No shame in losing to those guys, but it was really kind of an up and down year to start. And we had a tragedy that struck us early on in the year where we lost a former player. And we were really kind of in limbo middle of the year. And week 5, we played Coal City, and they just absolutely took it to us. And we kind of had a come to Jesus moment as a football program. Our kids had a players only meeting, and
we just kind of laid everything out there. And since then, we've been able to run off 4 in a row. We're playing really good football. We kind of got back to the football I like playing, where we just line up, we go at you, we just try to run the football. And like I said, the last 4 weeks, we've done a really good job with that. The kids have really responded. And, you know, for a young football team, I thought we kind of got better as the year went on. So right now we're playing our best football, and we'll have to keep that going into next week.
Those Jesus moments come in handy, don't they, Coach?
Well, it did this year, and
well, that's good.
There were some tough conversations we had to have, and it was definitely some eye-opening ones. But props to our kids; they responded the way you would want them to respond, and it didn't shock me because we've really tried to build kind of that mentality here in the last decade or so. And I'm just mostly I'm happy for our kids because, like I said, it really was kind of a tough stretch there for a month for us, but it's nice to see our name on there. Again, like you said before, I don't know a ton about Chicago Crane, but we'll get to work, and we're happy to be in the playoffs. And I'm ready to roll for next week.
Kids persevere very well, don't they?
Our kids certainly have this year. Yeah, this will be a year we kind of look back on, and I think we'll smile when it's all said and done. But right now, we're not done yet, and I'm going to be anxious to see how this young football team responds in a playoff atmosphere next week.
Well, Coach, speaking of playoff atmosphere, I look at your conference, and, you know, as always, you guys are going to be well represented in the playoffs. How well do you feel that prepares you for the postseason?
I know in years past, 17 we were in, 19 and 21 and 22. The competition that we play with the Wilmingtons and the Coal Cities, and even the Mantinos and Reed Custers the last couple of years. I mean, just really good quality football. And you say it all the time that you play in those teams, it does help you get ready for the postseason. So that hasn't been any different this year. And I know there's only 3 of us that got in this year, but, we got some teams in our conference that didn't make the playoffs this year that, could have easily gotten in there. They're much better than their record indicated. And there was a lot of swing games this year. We won a couple of close games against some teams. And like I said, I hope that's going to benefit us starting next week. But like I said, I got to start on the film first before I know. But anytime you can play a Wilmington and a Coal City, that's top-notch football there when it comes to 3A and 4A football, I feel like. So it certainly helps you get ready for a Week 10 game.
Tully, again, appreciate you taking time tonight to join us. And again, we'll stay in touch and go out and beat the snot out of Crane. And
that's right.
Hopefully we'll get to talk to you in round 2, okay?
We're going to do our best. It's always great hearing for you guys. Thanks for the phone call.
All right, bud.
Good luck, Tully.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Terrific head coach out of Piatone, Coach Tully joining us.
Good guy.
Again, we joke. We kind of lost touch with Tully a little bit, but he's back on board now and glad to have him. And again, congratulations. He mentioned about his team.
Yes.
It's been one of those years. It's been a trying year, but they're back in. And Dewey, as you said, you referred to, they will be battle tested. They will be very, very ready come playoff time. I feel good about their chances against Crane.
So do I.
Absolutely.
So do I.
We'll see. All right, so 3A's out. They've actually have released 4A. We're going to try now, and we'll get a hold of Francis Lawford from Coal City. In case you haven't seen it on the TV yet, the Kohlers end up in the southern part of 4A. That's a little interesting. They are an 8 seed. They will be hosting Normal U High, both 7-2 gentlemen going in. You win that game, you end up playing the winner. A little program called Rochester, the number 1 seed, who will take on Lincoln, who I think they beat like 75-0 2 weeks ago. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So again, 3A, we talked about. Let me go through the 3A bracket real quick. Number 1 seed Byron will host Chicago Noble. Hansberry, Dewey, you familiar? Didn't think so. Chicago Crane will host Piatone. That is an 8 versus 9 seed game.
Noble Johnson. That's not the guy's name. That's an actual school name, Chicago Noble Johnson. They will host Stillman Valley. Dupec Pecatonica, the 5 seed, will host Oregon, the 12 seed. Princeton, the 2 seed, will host Paxton Buckley Loda, the 15 seed. North Boone, the 7, will host Monmouth Rossville as a 7 versus 10. And North Lawn Charter, a 3 seed, will host Fairbury, Prairie Central, and North Lawndale Charter will go home 8-2 on the air. The southern part of the bracket. Oh, by the way, I forgot a little part of this. Montini Catholic in 3A, ladies and gentlemen. They are a 6 seed. They will host Eureka. And I'll tell you something right now. That is going to be a very good game. Eureka is gigantic up front. Big running back, huge offensive line. That is no gimme for Montini. But, boy, how scary is it seeing Montini in 3A?
Yes, I'll say.
Real.
That could be real scary. Southern part of the 3A bracket, DuQuoin hosting Monticello. Williamsville, the 8 seed, hosting Tolono Unity at 9 seed. Mount Carmel, the Golden Aces, 4 seed, will host Benton, the 13 seed. Sullivan Oakwood Valley Co-op will host Clinton, the 12 seed, not George Clinton, just Clinton. Greenville will host Fairfield. Stanford Olympia will host Litchfield. Roxanne will host Paris, and St. Joe Ogden will host Carlinville. That is 3A. No luck? Busy? Yeah. All right, so we're trying to get a hold of Coach Francis Lofgren. We'll try him one more time. In the meantime, guys, we're 4A. I know the IHSA has gone through 4A. Chicago Diet, a 1 seed, they will host Chicago Ag, so there's a nice free pass for the Chicago Public League.
Yes.
They will play the winner of Sandwich versus Ridgewood. Joe, Sandwich, my team.
That's right.
Wheaton Academy will host Chicago Phoenix. Richmond Burton, the 5 seed, will host St. Viator. Wow, there's a nice 5 versus 12 right there.
That's going to be a great
Rockford Boylan, gentlemen, another one in 4A. Scary to see them down in 4A. They are a 2 seed. They will host Chicago Phillips. Immaculate Conception, IC Catholic Prep will host Geneseo. By the way, Dewey, this is not your dad's Geneseo anymore. This team actually goes 5 wide and throws all over the field.
Yeah.
So they've changed. Yeah, it's a different team now. Dixon will host Plano. And then the southern part, actually the bottom part of the northern bracket, Chicago Vocational will host St. Lawrence. And then in the southern part of the bracket, well, we're going to bring in a guy that's going to get very familiar with the southern bracket. His name is Francis Lofgren. He is the head coach of your Coal City Colors. And no shock, Joe and Dewey, 1 million people trying to get a hold of Coach Lofgren right now. And, and why should we not be surprised it's playoff time?
That's right.
Coach, you're a very busy man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Always time for you guys, though.
Hey, we're glad to have you here. And again, so you wind up in the South. You're an 8 seed. You will be hosting U-High. Pretty darn good matchup for an opening round.
Absolutely. Absolutely great opponent, comes from a great conference in Central State 8. We're excited. You know, we kind of heard rumblings going back to last night, and you know, we kind of talked about it, and I think it's me. This is what playoff football is about, really. That's what I think about it.
Francis, you know, you lost to Wilmington a couple of weeks ago, and probably a couple conversations with the kids, but you've come out and won the last couple games, and it seems like you guys are kind of hitting on all cylinders again at the right time of the year.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know, you hate losing to a rival, but I think it kind of woke our guys up a little bit and got their focus back. And you know, I think sometimes it's a good thing. And luckily, we're pretty healthy this time of year, and we've got some guys stepping up, and we're excited for this time of the year.
I think Francis?
Coach?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, sorry about that. We lost you for a sec.
Go ahead, David.
No, what Joe just said, Coach, how are you guys health-wise?
You know, knock on wood, we're pretty good right now. You know, I mentioned earlier this morning about we've got some guys that could probably go both ways and do some different things, but our depth allowed us to kind of keep those guys healthy. And now, that's all in preparation for this time of year. So we're excited to, go forward and, put our best foot forward.
Coach, did you have any kind of pre-idea that you wind up with U-High? Did you guys kind of get a handle on who you might run into?
This is a new one for us. Obviously, like a lot of coaches, we're following, Steve.
Yep.
And last night when that came up, that was a new one for us, and so we kind of got to work on that. But that's part of the reason why I think our sport's so much fun is there's an opponent that we haven't played, and I couldn't help but think about back in the I think we played U-High back in 04, 05, and coming from a great conference, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, I asked Susie, we talked about if he was wrong on any of his predictions, you can get your money back on your subscription. So I would reach out to him right away.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Well, he's solid. He
does.
He's great at everything he does, and I try not to bother him on a day like today, but this is my first year where I texted him. I said, "Hey, what do you think?" And he said, it's looking pretty solid there. So he does a great job, and I'll tell you what, I don't know about those old days where you had no clue, and now you got I'm sitting there at my kid's game today, and checking my phone during his little super late, trying to figure out who we're playing and stuff, and I couldn't imagine otherwise.
Coach, again, we appreciate you picking up. Wish you the best of luck in the playoffs, and we'll be talking to you again soon.
Appreciate it. Talk to you guys later.
All right,
good luck,
thanks.
Francis.
We appreciate it. Francis Laughlin drops off from Coal City. Gentlemen, we're already in the Class 5A. And Joe?
Yes, sir.
Our latest guest, we had him on the air. We promised a victory, and gosh darn it, Joe, we delivered a victory. Tyler Plans from Providence Catholic joining us on the phone. And Tyler, congratulations and Happy New Year.
Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, it's we did not come through our side of the promise of no penalties and no turnovers, but we did win the game.
Tyler,
I think,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know what I did to officials or my dad did something or we did something in a past life, but they love you.
So the draw is Morton. What do you know about Morton?
Good team. I know that guy, I believe he's a first head coach is the way I understand.
Yes. Yes.
Defensive minded guy. I believe he came from Kansas, Manhattan, Kansas. So from everything I've heard, he's a great football coach, and research I've done on him, it looks like he's really doing a great job when it comes down to strength conditioning and the holistic development of the players too. So we're really excited to be able to play this team.
Tyler, you look at your team right now, where you guys are at compared to where you were week one. How do you feel going into the playoffs?
Great. I mean, just these guys being able to learn and develop and grow, and for us to figure out where we need personnel wise, like guys that are all in and guys that are out, like figuring out who those 22 and more are has been it's taken a season, but I think we are where we need to be.
Tyler, we were at the game last night. You guys played an outstanding game, and 2 weeks ago we were at the Carmel Mundelein game, and your sophomore quarterback really struggled in the first half. But I'll tell you what, from 2 weeks ago to last night, he has improved 1,000%. He was spinning the ball very well last night, getting the receivers. I love the play calling, and that little freshman you had out there on the corner, Jalen McMiller, I believe his name is, turned the game around completely in that second quarter.
Hey, that kid's it's a baller. I mean, kid's a baller. Just to see, we talked about it. Some of these young guys that just love the game, that are freshmen. I mean, it's cool to see a guy. Initially, they're trying to pick on him a little bit because they're like, all right, freshman out there on the edge. And then trying to talk to him a little bit on the sideline. He's like, "Coach, talk to me before the game." He's like, "I'm getting one, Coach. I don't care." Ends up getting really 3 Like one, they called him out, but one of those was being a pick six. Like it was really an impressive performance by him, where to be able to have that ball skills and just the understanding to go up and make that play, like, and not flinch, especially in a big moment like that with playoffs on the line. Like pretty impressive.
You got to paint the picture for us a little bit. Sounds like you got a little party going on behind you.
Yeah, so actually we are at Comey's bar, okay? So Tommy Comey's a guy who I played with at Providence. Yep. He helps us out coach, firefighter in New Lenox. His dad's opening a new bar here in the next couple of weeks, and they were nice enough to have the whole team out here. So we had Joey's Pizza. I think I had Joey's for lunch too. So I think every other meal I have is from Joey's. So Anthony Nardo, thank you for your
yes,
support.
Anthony Nardo. Yes.
Where's the bell?
Guy.
We need the bell.
Doesn't get better than Nardo, man.
Yes.
Doesn't get better than that guy.
For sure.
Yeah, we got all the boys out here, and we're just having some pizza and just kind of celebrating the season up to this point, and ready to go take on the next challenge of the playoffs.
Tyler, congratulations.
Yes,
Welcome to the postseason, and we'll talk to you soon, pal.
All right.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, Tyler.
Talk to you guys soon.
All right, Tyler Plant's joining us, and we appreciate it. Guys, don't take a break now. We're going right out to the phone lines. Joining us is the head coach of your Joliet Catholic Academy Hilltoppers, Jake Jaworski. Jaws, thanks for joining us, and Happy New Year.
What's up, guys? How are we?
Good, Josh.
We're doing good. And you?
Yeah, doing all right. Doing all right.
The draw is Peoria. Did you see that coming? Is it a surprise, or kind of what was your mindset going into today as far as possible opponents?
Well, I think if you follow, Steve Susi, he kind of, had some things fell last night and the night before, kind of zeroed in on Peoria a little bit. So, not necessarily surprised.
Jaws, you take a look at your game last night, and you guys had some opportunities. Things didn't come out, I know, how you wanted them to in the end.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of a little bit of a frustrating game. Got off to a good start, and then just kind of literally fumbled the ball away. Fumbled the game away. Just mistakes. Hopefully, again, talking to the guys after the game, it's better to have that week 9 than next week, because if that happens again, we'll be turning our stuff in. But I'm confident in our guys that we'll be able to rally, and we'll be back to work next week, and happy to be getting into that second season.
Jaws, how about the health of the team? I know you had some injuries, and I know some guys were getting healthy. How's the health of the team?
Going into next week, we should be full go. We got just about everybody back and whatnot. But I think we'll be fully healthy going into next week.
Okay. Do we got anything for
Jaws? You look at St. Ignatius last night, and is it pretty much what you thought you were going to see with them?
I mean, yes and no. The way the way they run their offense. I thought our defense actually played a really good game, and then they put their big guy at the fullback spot. So definitely see that coming, because on our films we hadn't seen it, and I think he's been hobbled a little bit all week or all year pretty much. I think he's missed a couple games or only played in parts of games. But when you got a 6'6", 315-pound guy that can move back there, running straight downhill, I don't know if I saw that coming, but I love the way that our guys battled defensively, and had some opportunities offensively. I think we turned the ball over 4 times in St. Ignatius territory. But that's a good team. That's a team that went to the 6A semifinals last year.
Yep,
and,
yes. Yep.
And has played a really good schedule this year. I know they have 3 losses. I think 2 of them came without their starting quarterback. So they were every bit as good as we thought they were going to be.
Jaws, again, appreciate you joining us, and obviously we'll talk to you real soon. And I know you guys are going to get to work on breaking down the Peoria Lions. And again, just best of luck to you and your guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, good luck,
Jaws. All right, Jake Jaworski. By the way, if you are watching the stream, can you do me a favor? If you're out there, can you let us know if you're seeing us okay? there's a conversation going on in there, Dewey. I think they're talking about NFHS.
I think they are.
I think NFHS
making sure.
crapped out, which is no surprise, but
Yes.
so hopefully you're watching us because everything on my end says that we're fine. I hope it seems to be working okay. Wow. So we just kind of did a little bit of a sprint there, but we're trying to get the coaches in obviously as soon as we can. Dewey?
Let's get him ready to read 5A maybe.
Okay.
And I'll thank
That's
our
what we'll
sponsors.
You think the sponsors will have our friend here read 5A, and then in the meantime, during that, let's line up Alan Thorson from Morris.
This is the Playoff Pairing Show brought to you by our good friends, the law offices of Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes. They give you peace of mind, and it's just a click away at odekirklaw.com. Also want to thank Providence Catholic High School, their open house coming up November 12th. Miguel, our good friend at Jody's Chicago-style hot dogs and more on Republic in Joliet, and State Farm agent John Wright. Joe, as we always know, like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
All right, State Farm is there. We thank John Wright.
All right. So again, stick with us. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the 5A bracket for everyone at home. Daniel Dwyer making a terrific first appearance here on inside the studio. So Daniel, fire us up. Tell us about Class 5A.
First we have Chicago Peyton versus Sterling, and then Wheaton St. Francis versus Rochelle. Chicago Morgan Park versus Chicago Corliss. Sycamore versus Evergreen Park. Crystal Lake versus LaGrange Park.
Yeah, that's actually Prairie Ridge. So they're defending state champ in 6A. Taking on how about that one, guys?
Yeah.
Prairie Ridge against Naz in the first round.
Yep.
Wow. Go ahead, Daniel.
Glen Ellen versus Chicago Noble.
Yep.
Antoch versus
Antioch. Dioc versus Englewood. Carmel.
Mundelein versus Chicago.
Anything in the parentheses, buddy.
Okay.
There you go.
Morris versus Tinley Park.
Yep.
Calamount City versus Thornton, or Calamount City, Thornton.
Fractional North. Stay on the north side of Fractional. Never cross that line. I just happened to go there. It's my alma mater.
Versus Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin.
Great. What, was Ohio State busy next Friday or what?
Mahomet Seymour versus Troy Triad.
Very good.
Peoria versus Joliet Catholic Academy.
Yep.
Morton versus Providence Catholic.
Yep.
Carbondale versus Country Club Hills Hillcrest.
Hey, Hillcrest, congratulations. Now you get to drive to Carbondale in the first round. You'd be better off flying. Yes. Finish it off, Daniel.
Highland versus Mount Vernon. And then Metamora versus Decatur.
And that is the Class 5A bracket. Guys, anything off the top catch your eye in Class 5A?
Well, right off the bat, I just at the top of the bracket, I've got, Wheaton St. Francis. Rochelle wound up beating Richmond Burton last night, I think.
I know.
So I think that's a big one. And I have it checked here, too. Edge Prairie Ridge against Nazareth at Prairie Ridge.
Ridiculous.
That is, Carmel and Mundelein. Dewey and I saw them a couple weeks ago. They got a nice draw.
Yeah.
They got a nice draw. They could get to the semifinals.
By the way, one of our viewers, one of the many viewers, gentlemen, we've had on tonight, by the way, and thank you everyone for watching. Big fan of Coach Joe. Just going to leave it at that. We're working fine, and Coach Joe Rod is still handsome. And that's all that really matters in this world, isn't it? When it's all said and done.
I guess. I don't know.
That's all that really matters. Again, they're already in the 7A and IHSA TV. We're going to try to hook up with Alan Thorson before we dive into the 6A, 7A, and 8A world. Don't go anywhere. What we're going to do is basically we're in this marathon. I think we're going to blow through ABC News and just keep going. We're going to try to get all our area coaches on. And then what we're going to do after that, guys, then we'll sit down. We'll take a little break. We'll sit down and we'll give you some bracket analysis, and maybe we'll even give you a few state champion predictions if we've got time available. Does that work?
That works for me.
All right. Again, you are listening to the WJOL Playoff Preview Show. Again, hello to everybody watching live, and glad you're with us. It's been a lot of fun so far. We got plenty of other things to go. Someone also brought up Matt Now out there, one of our guys. Captain's out there for you, Joe.
I know. Hello, Captain. Good that you're there. We're listening
Our
to
guy
us.
Captain's out there.
Yes. Robert James's Carmel is definitely the wild card. I agree with you. They're a pretty good team. They can go. They
And
can
Matt
go away.
now mentioned Carmel and Antioch is around two, could be interesting. Antioch
Yep, you're right.
undefeated, kind of
You're
under
right,
the radar because it's not a great conference. But do we have Alan? All right, let's go out to the phone lines. The head coach of your undefeated conference champion Morris Football Club, Alan Thorson, joins us. Alan, congratulations and Happy New Year.
Oh, thanks for having me on, guys. It's always a great night. Obviously, going in undefeated and finding out who you're playing. It's just kind of like starting a whole new season over. So we're team's excited and we're ready to go.
And it truly was a wait to the last minute for you once again.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I usually don't get caught up on this. I feel like I went back to almost being like a rookie coach. I was watching Steve last night, late at night, trying to see where we were going and checking brackets all day today. And I know we were at 4A partially last night and then back to 5. So, yeah, it was a little confusing just trying to get an idea where we're going. But once we settled in and sounded like we were going 5, we kind of had it narrowed down to Tinley Park or maybe LaSalle, Peru, if they were one of those 4 and 5s that got in. So we kind of already started just a little prep just to get kind of an idea. But now that we know who we're playing, yeah, we're ready to go.
Alan, I don't care if you're 4 or 5A. Your team right now is hitting on all cylinders. Congratulations again on the championship last night. I was sitting next to Rob Orshley in the first half, so he was keeping me abreast of your scores, and I was happy that you guys jumped out to a nice big lead and won the game. And it just seems like this team, you knew at the beginning of the year you were going to be good, but as it progressed, and I think, and you gave me credit with the Richmond Burton game, but I think that game propelled you guys, and I think you're going to go a long way in this tournament this year.
Oh, absolutely. The Richmond Burton game was a confidence boost, and it was kind of showing them that what they really can do. And anybody that saw that game and even saw last night's game, every coach wants to get their best out of their kids, but our kids really took it to a whole new level last night and in the Richmond Burton game. Excuse me. So, if we can continue that, and it's always the coach talk, but our message every week is be better than you were last week. And we really stress that to these guys and how we practice and obviously how we play. And, last night, the defensive performance that we had was one of the better defensive performances I've seen on Morris Field since I've been here. Offensively, we were there. We had over 400 yards. We just made a few turnovers. We matched our turnover total last night than what we've had in the whole season. So, we made a few mistakes, but we were able to survive it and still win against a really good team. So, no, absolutely. I know it's a tough bracket. There's some really good teams in there, and obviously we don't overlook anybody, but I feel very confident in my group right now.
Coach, I remember when we talked to you at the coaches show beginning of the year, you were excited. You're always excited, but a lot of anticipation. I think looking through 9 weeks and covering you guys and talking to everybody as we do, you guys are as good going into the playoffs as you've been in a long time.
Oh, absolutely. Even last year, we had a really good team, went to the semis, but I just we keep saying it as a coaching staff that there's something special about this group. And, when you have those special teams, obviously, good things happen. And what I love about this group, and even tonight we're actually driving back to the school now to meet as a coaching staff to get to work, but we're at the playoff party, and this group has a chip on their shoulder. And I know everybody says that, but this group truly plays angry, and they find just something every week to motivate them. And ironically, I don't know if you guys got to see the playoff show, but when they covered 5A, they talked about pretty much every other team but Morris. They even highlighted Sycamore. And I'm telling you, the entire room went nuts. And you could just see a crate like this look in their eyes, like just motivation. And it was for me, it was the best thing that could have happened. I want to thank those guys for that. But it was just, they find motivation every single week to to be better and just to kind of prove themselves. So I think that's something that's going to carry us hopefully through the playoffs.
Alan, the reason why you guys weren't mentioned because I wasn't on the show.
I know you're our biggest fan, and I love it.
I do have Dave Bernhardt and Matt Rodewald's cell number if that helps.
Yeah, you can tell.
No, we got to keep the Morris team motivated. We got to keep motivated.
I keep receipts, right? Just like Dion says.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep.
You got that right.
No.
You got that right.
Very good. Again, just for those of you that haven't seen the bracket or you're on TV or you're just having too much fun at your playoff pairing party, Morris, the 1 seed in the South, they will host Tinley Park. So the Titans make the trip over to Morris. Nice short drive, not too bad.
Not too bad. No.
Although, I-80, it's always bad.
Yeah, who knows?
And then part of that bracket, the winner would play, the winner would play the battle between the EDGYTIM alum Thornton Fractional North Meteors hosting Sacred Heart Griffin. Look out, Coach. I'm not going to be able to talk to you for 1 week if it goes down that way. I hope you understand.
Yeah, that's all right. No, it's and that's if you look at that bracket, just the names, there's some programs there, and that's it is. I mean, JCA Peoria is going to be a great first round game, and obviously, we're not going to overlook Tinley Park by any means, but there's a chance that obviously, the next round could be a Sacred Heart, a defending state champ. And again, that was one of those things when that was announced, I just tried to read the room. And the kids, you could just see the excitement. There wasn't, oh, shoot, we're playing this team, or JCA or Peoria was there. I could hear kids say, hey, we could get Peoria again. There's excitement in the room.
Yep.
So, and I think that says a whole lot. That says everything you need to know about this team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, I tell you what, we're going to let you go. I know you got about 15 more hours of work ahead of you tonight. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Again, pal, just congrats, and we're happy for you and your kids. And, we'll be talking to you again real soon.
Yes. Good luck, Alan.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Alan Thorson joins us again from Morris. And look at that side of the bracket in 5A. It's pretty ridiculous. You've got, obviously, Morris is a 1 seed. You've got Sacred Heart in as a 9 seed.
Muhammad Seymour.
Muhammad Seymour, very solid. Peoria, JCA, that's a huge first round game.
How good is Morton? Edge.
Good.
Okay.
Pretty solid. I mean, they're out of that middle Illini, a lot of run-heavy teams. As Coach mentioned, Coach Plants, that's a first-year head coach, but he has been with the program for a while, so I don't expect a whole lot of change out of what we've seen from them recently. Do we?
Well, we could get into this more, but you look at the seeds, okay? So you talk about your former school and Sacred Heart Griffin going up there as a 9 seed and TF North is an 8. What that means for Morris is
you're going to Sacred Heart in round 2. But that's okay because down the road it sets you up better maybe for a quarterfinal at home.
Yes.
Maybe a quarterfinal against a team in brown and white.
Never know.
Yep.
You don't think those kids are looking at that? I guarantee you they're looking at that.
Absolutely.
And Providence wouldn't be very far off from that either.
No.
As far as an exciting game for that community.
No
doubt about it. All right. So that takes care of 5A. Guys, I think we're going to get a hold of Willie. We'll talk Lamont. And you know what? Let's keep our guy working here. I truly believe in keeping our guy, Daniel Dwyer, here working. Daniel, Joe will give you his microphone. Let's hear the field in Class 6A.
We have Lake Zurich versus Crystal Lake Central.
Yep.
Riverside Arbrook Field versus Maple Park
Caneland. Yep.
Belvedere North versus Chicago
Amundsen. That's a toughie.
Wakanda versus Fox Lake Grant.
Yep.
Chicago Lakeview versus Lake Forest.
And there's a big difference between Lakeview and Lake Forest, folks.
Yes.
Continue.
Geneva versus Chicago.
Chicago
Sen.
Yep.
Cary Grove versus Libertyville.
Yep.
Chicago Mather versus Highland Park.
Yep.
Kankakee Senior versus Midlothian Bremen. Blue Island Eisenhower versus Dunlap. East St. Louis Senior versus Lamont.
Oh, boy. Okay. We'll talk to Willie Hayes in a minute.
Normal Community West versus Chicago Simeon. Washington versus Danville. Crete Moni versus Champaign Centennial. Oak Lawn Richards versus Chicago Hubbard. And Chatham Glenwood versus Bloomington High School.
Well done, Daniel. Well done. That is a Class 6A field. And guys, and it's funny, but it seems like this will be the first year in like a dozen that Tony Sheehan and Oak Lawn Richards doesn't open on the road at East St. Louis. Oh, no, it's our friend Willie Hayes.
Gosh.
Let's bring Willie in. Willie, the head coach of your Lamont Football Club. And hey, Willie, you're in the playoffs. Welcome. Congratulations. Happy New Year. The interesting news is you get to go to East St. Louis.
Yeah, how about that? Thanks for having me on, guys. So, yeah, how about that draw? But I mean, I tell you what, we're gonna travel down there and we're gonna give them hell. So we'll see what happens.
Look. Let's be very honest here, okay? And I've told you this before, and Joe and I have talked about it. And East St. Louis will be the ones that tell you there's a team in the 6A field that has given them trouble over the last handful of years. You know what? It's the guys from Lamont.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. So I mean, we're fired up to be in, and I think we're starting to click at the right time, and you never know what might happen. So I think, we're going to take it one day at a time, one play at a time. We're just going to continue to get better, and we'll see what happens either Friday or Saturday, depending on what we decide.
I mean, you hear all the time about, injuries to this team and that team. And I'm going to be honest with you, Coach. I'm reading the game recap story. I didn't recognize one damn kid on your team that was mentioned.
Yes.
Seriously.
Right. I mean, we've had our ups and downs for sure this season. I mean, there's been injuries. We've hurt ourselves in games, to be honest with you. We've battled the penalty game and, bad snaps or misassignments and misalignments. And I think throughout the last couple of weeks, we've started a little bit, clean that up. And we got the job done on Thursday against, I think, a really good TF North team who's, completely flipped the tide. And, Coach Piggs has done an outstanding job there, but, our kids battled, and the maturity level that I think we've shown and grown throughout the year is just, I'm extremely proud of our kids. We're battle tested, and I think, when we go down there, we're going to be ready. So,
Well, the big, a big win, and I think it's going to give you a little momentum. The kids coming back the way you did, and I know, TF North came down and scored and went for 2, but again, scoring 2 touchdowns late in the fourth quarter to put you guys ahead in getting them an incomplete or whatever happened on the 2-point play has got to give you guys a tremendous lift.
Yeah, it's the spark our offense kind of needed. We've been a little bit inconsistent on that side of the ball, and I think those last 3 or 4 minutes that we had on Thursday, we showed glimpses of what we can do offensively. And I think, we have a ton of weapons on that side of the ball. I think our offensive line is really, really solid. And they're starting to click a little bit. And I think, Chris Montella, quarterback, is starting to connect with some guys at receiver. And we've got a little bit of a 3-headed horse in the backfield too, with Zach Biscuel, Dan Taylor, and Julius Dion that have really, shared the role and carried the rock for us. And I think a little bit of our identity has turned it into, just pounding the rock on the ground. So we're going to see what we can do. So I think we're excited for the opportunity, and we're just, this week, we got to focus on ourselves and make sure we're getting better in certain aspects and focusing on what our game plan is going to be, and make sure that, the biggest thing is that we execute that game plan on Friday or Saturday and see what happens.
Yep, no doubt about it. Willie, we appreciate it. Again, congratulations to you and your kids. You fought your way in, and now go give them heck. And, we'll be talking to you a little bit down the road.
Yes. Good luck, Willie.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Good talking to you guys.
You
Thanks
too.
for having me on.
Willie Hayes joining us. And again, not a great draw, but you know what? As we talked about, Joe, they've given them heck every time they've played them.
Yeah, they talk about Lamont.
All right, we're going to step aside. We're going to take a break. We're actually going to break for ABC News, but when we come back, then we're going to hit it hard. We're going to talk to our 7A, our 8A coaches, and then, guys, we're going to break down some brackets as well. So you are listening to the WJOL Playoff Pairing Show on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, It doesn't have to be. Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built to very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. The anticipated operation to attack Hamas and rescue Hamas-held hostages has not happened yet, but Israeli forces are gathering on the border of Gaza. ABC's Britt Clennett reports from Haifa in Israel.
We were told that the number of hostages is now at 210, including more Americans. It has hidden them in safe places and tunnels within Gaza, so it would be extremely difficult for the IDF to just go in and free them from those hidden locations.
Dozens of Americans are trying to get out of Gaza along the country's southern border, along with more than 2 million Palestinian residents in dire need of food, water, and other essentials. ABC's Michelle Franzen has the story of one Palestinian-American family from Utah waiting to get out.
Americans visiting and living in Gaza waiting at Egypt's southern border to get out, including 10-year-old Aiden Tawil. He and his mom, Palestinian-Americans, were visiting his grandfather from Utah when Israeli forces began airstrikes targeting Hamas in the wake of the Hamas attacks across Israeli villages.
We don't know if we're going to leave, but I hope we're going to leave. It's sad to be hearing the bombs, everyone's dying. It's just sad to hear.
The Rafah Gate, now the only crossing with limited access right now for humanitarian aid. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Detroit communities are grieving after a local activist and synagogue president was found stabbed to death outside her home. Samantha Wohl had served as president of the Isaac Agree downtown synagogue since last year. Marino Taylor says he got to know Wohl when they worked together on a political campaign.
Her smile is so infectious, and I truly, just can't grasp that, she's no longer here to bless our community with her talents.
You're listening to ABC News.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Soccer star Bobby Charlton has died. Charlton played for Manchester United when that club took home its 1966 World Cup victory. He also survived a 1958 plane crash in Munich as United was coming home from the European Cup. He was 86. One of the world's most popular sports roars into the Texas Hill Country this weekend. ABC's Brian Clark has more.
Tens of thousands of Formula One fans are expected this weekend in Austin, Texas.
It's lights down, away we go.
It's the United States Grand Prix, the longest running event in the U.S. for the series that historically have been more popular overseas. But U.S. interest has surged in recent years thanks to the Drop series on Netflix and the popularity of drivers like Lewis Hamilton. This year's title is already locked up. Max Verstappen will win for the third year in a row, and this is the first year of 3 races in the U.S. F1 will race next month in Las Vegas for the first time. Brian Clark, ABC News.
The police chief of Nashville, Tennessee, confirms that a shooting suspect in nearby Laverne is his estranged son. Police are searching for John Drake Jr. for shooting and wounding 2 on-duty police officers. What was once Hurricane Norma has made landfall along Mexico's Baja California Peninsula near the resort communities of Los Cabos. The storm made landfall as a Category 1, but has since weakened into a tropical storm. This is ABC News.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Will County's News Talk Sports, 1340.
The 1340 WJOL High School Football Game of the Week, presented by the law offices of Odekirk, Allred, and Rhodes. When you need the very best on your side, Odekirk, Allred, and Rhodes. With offices in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, and Wilmington. Your peace of mind is just a click away at odekirklaw.com.
Mark your calendars for Sunday, November 12th, when Providence Catholic High School in New Lenox will host its annual open house for all grade school families. Providence is known for its top-ranked programs in academics, fine arts, and athletics, where they have more state championships than any other private school in the state. Did you know that Providence Catholic High School has extensive scholarship and grant programs to make it affordable for all 8th grade families? Want to learn more or visit the school? Go to providencecatholic.org for more information. Become a Celtic and become something greater.
At Alpha Media, we are here to help you meet your future alumni with Alpha EDU. With our audience-first approach, it allows us to identify your educational institution's diverse cohorts. We are not guessing where they are. We know, utilizing multiple platforms along with unique strategies to obtain first-party data. We provide valuable impressions to your exact future students. Our omni-channel approach allows you to reach aspiring students throughout the application to student journey. Our Alpha EDU strategy uses your list of feeder high schools and collects the device IDs of not only the students, but of those who influence their decisions. This list is then uploaded into major platforms to connect your message directly to them at the right time. With our multiple strategy approach, we can reach any potential student you are looking for. Alpha Media wants to provide an easy partnership from campaign development and optimization to implementation and reporting. Find out how Alpha can be an extension of your team. Go to alphamediadigital.com to learn more about Alpha EDU.
This is good news, maybe exactly when you need it too. Right now, switching to MediShare can save you even more than usual on top of what you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, especially given how inflation is affecting us. And MediShare is the affordable, reliable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves about $500 a month. You might save even more. And MediShare is a Christian community that's been sharing each other's healthcare costs for 30 years now, and they're making it easier than ever. Apply by October 31st, and you can send additional $150 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch, like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. It's 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
More than 80 million Americans depend on AM radio each month for news, weather, and emergency information. A new bill in Congress would make sure AM radio remains in cars. Because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to support the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Pigskin Preview with EDGYTIM on 1340 WJOL.
I'm telling you right now, that's changing for next year. I'm tired of hearing that ad because my friend Joe isn't mentioned.
See? I tell Dewey every week.
Every time I hear that ad, I cringe.
I'm just a cog in the machine. Edge, I want to give a big shout out to Coach Hayes' wife, Alex, she has to put up with 2 boys at home and then a bigger baby at night.
The biggest of them all.
Yeah, the biggest one of them all is right. But Alex, I miss you too. You're a great lady.
By the way, what an incredible lead-in from IHSA brackets to the gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Yep.
Oh,
They better never tell me they don't have room to program when it's like, okay, what are we going to bump? The gorgeous ladies of wrestling or Dracula? What are we going to bump? Welcome to IHSA Television, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dwyer, you have some advertisers that need to be heard from.
Playoff Pairing show tonight brought to you by the law offices of Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes. When you need the very best on your side, Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes, with offices in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, and Wilmington. Your peace of mind is just a click away at odekirklaw.com. Also, Providence Catholic High School, mark your calendars for Sunday, November 12th, when Providence Catholic will host its annual open house for all grade school families. Want to thank our good friend Miguel over at Jody's Chicago-style hot dogs and more.
Thank you, Miguel.
Great spread tonight. Miguel, located at 326 Republic Avenue in Joliet, catering and delivery available as well.
You know what I'm going to do?
What?
We're getting dinner from there tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Paid off.
State Farm agent John Wright for the real deal on insurance at the right price. Call State Farm and agent John Wright at 815-725-5052.
All right, guys, we're going to dive into 7A. First, our in-house announcer, Daniel Dwyer. I think you just got a promotion, Daniel. Talk to Joe about your salary. We're going to break down 7A, and then we're immediately going to go to the phone lines. We'll be joined by Luke Lokank from Lincoln Way West, and then obviously Dave Woodburn from Lincoln Way Central. Daniel, fire off Class 7A bracket.
First off, we have Normal Community versus Argo, then Bradley versus St. Charles North, Lincoln Park versus Addison Trail, Glenbard East versus McChesney Park, Harlem.
Very good.
Arlington Heights, Hersey versus Warrenville South.
I think there's people in that building that don't know how to pronounce it that well. Go ahead.
Downers Grove North versus Chicago Kenwood. Des Plaines Main West versus Collinsville. Lincoln Way West versus Hoffman Estates. Rockton Hononegah versus Auburn. Willowbrook versus Yorkville. Batavia versus Brother Rice. Lincoln Way Central versus Jacobs. Quincy Senior versus West Chicago. Whitney Young versus Wheaton North. Mount Carmel versus St. Rita.
Wow. Jordan Lynch, welcome to the playoffs. There you go. And one more there, pal.
And to N7A, Mount Prospect versus Buffalo Grove.
Very good. Daniel Dwyer with our Class 7A bracket. Guys, let's go out to the phone. Who do we have? Luke Lokank, Lincoln Way West head coach, joining us. Coach, thanks for joining us, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Hoffman Estates, the draw. You get the home game. Surprise, not surprise. What were you guys kind of thinking going into today?
We were hoping, coming off 7-2 and playing pretty competitive conference and playoff points, hoping for a home game. We just didn't know where we was going to line up. Had a couple teams in mind, and Hoffman Estates was one of them. And we're just happy to be in a position where we're playing another week.
Luke, we talked to you, during the year on Thursday nights, and we talked about the situation with Chase and going in at quarterback. And I know he was there in the summer, but talk about his progression from the time he was going to be the starter after week 2 and his improvement from week 3 to 9 to right now.
Progression has been, it's been great. It's with any kid, coach, as the more they play, the more they see, the more they react, and that's kind of what we've seen out of him throughout the season. And all juniors are going to go through highs and lows and trying to find that balance of, okay, let's stay slow. Let's stay calm. Let's make the read progression. But his progress has been really, really fun to watch.
How about, and again, and I know you have a great coaching staff, but how important is that young man to with Ernie? I mean, with Coach Ernst, and I know, Ernie a long time, like I've known you, but how important is that matchup between those two?
We both known Ernie a long time, and he puts his heart and soul into everything he does in football, and just mentoring him and just trying to get him to a level of playing where you need to slow the game down for a lot of these kids, and Dave's so good at doing that with all high school players, and it's been fun to watch those two throughout the last 9 weeks too, kind of build that relationship and grow as a player-coach relationship.
Coach, speaking of the last 9 weeks, how are you guys going into the postseason health-wise?
Just like any other high school team, everyone out there has all had, bumps and bruises and key guys out, and we're in the same boat as everyone else. But we feel really comfortable with the guys who have stepped up with our injuries, and hopefully we get a couple who've been out the last couple of weeks back going into this week.
Again, Luke, we appreciate it. We know it's a busy night, and I'm sure you guys are already getting to work and looking at Hoffman Estates. But again, we'll definitely stay in touch. Good luck, and go get them, okay?
Yeah, good luck, Luke.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, Luke Loking joins us from Lincoln Way West, guys. And again, not a bad draw. Hoffman Estates they're in the same conference with is it Palatine? Yeah, it's the West. So they're in with Palatine. They're in with some others. Very speedy, a lot of speed, a lot of athletes on Hoffman Estates. Not a big team physically, but just a really quick athletic team. So it'll be interesting to see how well the Warriors can match up with them. And Joe, you got to feel good. It's at home.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Lincoln Way West played very, very, very well at home, and I'm looking forward to see the outcome of that game for sure.
No doubt about it. Dewey, I just happened to notice in 7A, you could technically have a Lincoln Way state final. Just saying, it's possible.
The potential's there.
It's there.
Yep, you're right.
Yep. So again, we're trying to we're going to reach out and get a hold of Dave Woodburn here in a minute, get his thoughts on his draw for Lincoln Way Central. And again, we're going through 7A. We'll go through 8A, and we're going to talk to the coaches. And then if we have a little bit of time, we're going to try to break down and give you some thoughts. If not, that's why we have Thursdays.
Yes.
Right.
I think Mr. Dwyer would have no problem coming back, giving his thoughts on Thursday if we decided to do it. I didn't think so. I think both Dwyers would probably come up and show up. So
Daniel'll show up if there's food again for sure.
Yeah. We'd love to do it. All right. Out to the phone lines, gentlemen. I will argue if we're talking area coach of the year, this guy could very well be it. He has got his team, once again, guys, in the playoffs. A tremendous job he has done. Dave Woodburn from Lincoln Way Central. My friend, welcome aboard and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well, I guess, right? How you guys doing?
Good,
hey,
Dave.
we're doing great and glad to have you aboard. And, well, let's talk about your draw. It is going to be the Mentors of Rob Zavonar Bowl as Jacobs takes on Lincoln Way Central.
Well. Yeah, Coach Zim and I already had a conversation. So, yep, a couple Lincoln Way East guys we're gonna go at it at New Lenox on Friday night.
So here's what I want to know: is Zim gonna bring his guys out like he does when he's at home on Lincoln Way Central's field? Meaning, is he going to bring his guys out like Z does in the pregame when they walk out arm in arm?
Yeah, right.
We'll see.
Well,
Let's see you try that one at home, pal.
As long as he stays off our sideline, we'll be all right.
Zim's a great guy. He's a great guy. Did the draw surprise you?
No, we had it pegged down to a couple different teams, and we actually won against. Zim came out this summer. We played against those guys this summer at Central, so we got a good relationship. We've talked a few times already this year, and going to be a good one, that's for sure.
Dave, you played 2 overtime games this year. Talk about the one last night, the double overtime win. And again, I think a very, very tough 6-3 going into the playoffs, Bradley Bourbonnais team.
Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to play those guys again. They do a fantastic job. They had, you gave us some credit the other night about our secondary, and boy, they had us on our heels defensively. Our offense played a fantastic game, controlled the clock a little bit, and kept them off the field. But I've been coaching for a long time, and I said I've never coached in an overtime game except in 2005, and I wasn't really a varsity football coach, and now I've had to do it twice this year. So those have been some pretty cool experiences, and I think the one against West helped us last night. And extremely proud of the fight in that group that we have here. They've earned this, and we're really, really excited about what we got coming up here.
Dave, when you go into overtime, I've never experienced that as a coach, but I
don't really want to do it again.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I hope you don't. Well, if you win, who cares, right? But
yeah,
do you have a specific place for overtime, or is it just to see what maybe worked during the course of the game? Because the field does shrink. Of course, you're on the 10-yard line. But do you have a specific – I know you guys probably work on red zone stuff, but you also probably work on some plays inside, from the 10-yard line in.
Yeah, it's a red zone and a goal line thing. It's not necessarily, hey, we're prepping for an overtime. And then by that time in the football game, so many different things have happened, and you've made so many adjustments that, you're definitely going with, hey, here was our plan, and now what's been working. So that's kind of what we went with there. And man, they're a really tough offense, friendly to defend wherever they are. But we made a couple plays there down at the wire, and our offense. I tell you what, our quarterback had a fantastic game. He was like 15 to 16 and 4 touchdown passes. So we got out of there with the W, and our guys are excited.
No doubt about it. We're set. We're definitely excited for you and your program. And Dave, again, just congratulations. We're thrilled for you and wish you the best of luck. And we're going to continue to be talking to you down the road.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. I appreciate it.
All right, Dave. Good luck, buddy.
Dave Woodburn, Lincoln Way Central joins us. And again, the Knights are in. David?
I want to thank our sponsor tonight, one of our sponsors, the law offices of Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes. Providence Catholic High School, who reminds you their open house is on Sunday, November 12th. Miguel at Jody's Chicago Style Hot Dogs on Republic. Thank you so much, Miguel, for taking care of us with a tremendous spread of food tonight. Yeah, there you go, the bell. And State Farm agent John Wright for the real deal on insurance at the right price. Give John Wright a call at 815-725-5052. 8A.
Yeah, let's. We're in the process of getting a hold of Rob Zavonar on the phone. You got 8A in front of you, pal? No, he doesn't. That's because the producer did a poor job. There's Class 8A. Daniel Dwyer, give us the breakdown in Class 8A.
First off, we have Loyola Academy versus Plainfield North. Neuqua Valley versus Palatine.
Palatine, you're close.
Huntley versus Skokie, Niles West.
Yep.
We have Joliet West versus St. Ignatius. Edwardsville versus West Aurora. Glenbard West versus Naperville North. Elmhurst versus Homewood Flossmoor. Stevenson versus Lions. Lincoln Way East versus Chicago Taft. Manuka versus Sandburg. South Elgin versus Lane, Chicago. Warren Gurney versus Oswego. Barrington versus Glenbrook South. Naperville Central versus Downers Grove South. Parkridge or Maine South versus Lockport Township. Belleville, and then Belleville East against Aurora East.
All right, and there you go. That is Class 8A. Gentlemen, we're going to go out to the phone lines. Very familiar with the playoffs, guys. You know why? Because he's never not made the playoffs as a head coach.
That's right. He's always there.
He is the head coach of the state championship level Lincoln Way East Griffins. He's our friend, and for some reason, guys, he continues to pick up our phone calls. Coach Rob Zavonar joining us. Rob, I don't know if you realize or not, but there's a bowl game in your honor in Class 7A in the first round.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier for those two guys. What Brian Zimmerman's done up at Jacobs, and you've seen what David Whitburn did in such a short time, getting Lincoln Way Central football back on the map. And a lot of the guys over at Central either played for us or coached with us. So it really just means I'm getting old, but at the same time, you're also proud and happy for those guys as well. And you got a guy like Luke Lokank at West, and it really is, not to sound a little sappy here, but it's Lincoln Way football at this point. Really is a family within District 210, and it's really fun to collaborate with Dave and with Luke, and just feel like they're part of your extended family as well. So that's a real positive thing, and I'm just happy for all those guys involved.
Well, and I'm going to be honest, and we've talked about this already. I'm kind of surprised that storyline hasn't been played up a little more. I certainly hope it is going into the postseason because, again, you look at the one-off year that West had, and then obviously Central coming off the coaching change. That doesn't happen every day. So I certainly think it deserves a little bit more ink, and
I think
the story overall deserves to be blown up.
My math isn't too quick these days, but I think if I do it real quick, Lincoln Way District 210 football is 23-3 maybe this year.
That's
So
exactly
probably
it.
is. Yep. You can leave us out of it. I don't need that, but I certainly want to lift those other two guys up for sure.
You draw Taft first round. Again, a Chicago Public League foe. I'm absolutely amazed at the amount of 4 and 5s that have gotten in. You said nine of them. 9, 4 and 5.
Yeah, I think that resulted from the word parity, right? And maybe there's a little effect from COVID, and some programs are a little down here and there, and that resulted.
And I'll throw 8-man in that as well.
Yeah, so then you just got a little different, makeup of some schools out there, configurations or whatever the case might be, and just a strange year, and some 4 and 5s getting in. But I tell you, we thought Glenbrook South for a while. You look at them at 4 and 5, their losses are to the big dogs by a small margin. So that could have went south in a hurry. And then we have tremendous amount of respect for the CPS. We played Kenwood, and we played those schools, and Taft we played a few years ago, and just really appreciate the job they do. So we'll prepare and give them our respect, just like it was anybody else. And we'll take it as an opportunity to hopefully get better and see how the chips fall later on. I've been in these enough to know that you can get pounded early, and sometimes you get a little bit different deal, and it just kind of all evens out in the end. But a year ago we went a very, very good Neuqua Valley team to a Warren team to a Glenborough West team to a Loyola team. So we've had our share of about everything you can get. My coaches remind me all the way back to 2004 when we were 5 and 4 and played the 3rd ranked team and their 20th ranked team in the country, and Lockport with the Christensen kid coming off 2 state championships. We got them round 1 that year. They said I turned white as a ghost. So, I've been through it, man, and just feel good about the opportunity to be with our kids, another week or however long it lasts. And, we always, you got to be careful that you don't, we talk about keeping goals microscopic and telescopic, and you got to keep them microscopic at this time of year, because if you look too far ahead, it'll bite you. And then you also want the kids the opportunity to enjoy the moment. And it's not, not being braggadocious at all, but when your expectations are what they are at our place now, you don't want to let the kids get cheated out of enjoying being in the playoffs, and then just weeks 8, 9, 10, let's enjoy that, because these times don't last forever, and they're very fleeting moments, and you want everyone to get everything they can out of it, because then all you get later in life is to go on and talk to guys on the radio about it.
Yeah, who wants to talk to us?
That's right.
Coach Z, it's Dewey. I got to tell you, we did your Lockport game, and I just kind of stood there at halftime, and I was watching your staffs with the offense, with the defense separately, watching the TVs, going through everything. And Joe and I were watching this, and I said, Joe, there's some teachers who would love to have this much attention and respect that your kids had for what you guys were breaking down. And that's a credit to you, Z, what you've brought to that program from day one.
Well, it really is a credit to our staff and our community and our kids, and just the fact that they care enough to put their heart and soul in it. We're just blessed to be in a great situation here. And I always go back to a biblical scripture that pretty much says that much is given, much is expected. And I feel like we've got some advantages here, and it's our job to live up to fulfill potential and go as far as we can. And just what you said, our coaching staff and our players and our families and our youth programs, we just kind of got things going in the right direction. And I am, my name's out front, but I'm just one cog like everybody else, and appreciate what everybody is willing to bring to the table on a daily basis. So thanks, Dewey, for saying that.
Again, just always appreciate you picking up. Glad to have you a part of the show. And I know we're going to talk to you for a while, so
Get used to us.
You're sick of us, I'm
Well,
sure already, and but
no, and I honestly, I truly mean, I love the 5, 10, 15 minutes to just kick it back with you guys and talk, and because I know how much you care about the game and kids, and you guys do such a good job. So it's really an honor for me to come on and talk to you. And I don't say that facetiously at all. It's true sincerity that you guys have made Illinois high school football. If you weren't here, it would not be as special as it is. So I just thank you for doing that. I'm getting a little sentimental in my old age.
We all
do here, but I'm not going to go out without saying things that I mean and that are on my heart.
All right. So
what you guys have done has made it a better sport in Illinois.
All right. So I'm gonna since you were so nice to us, I'm gonna save you on this one. Okay. You ready?
You betcha. You betcha.
Tell Mrs. Zavona we said happy sweetest day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As I walked in, our coaches get together tonight. She said, "You know his sweetest day today." I said, "Yeah. Why do you think I'm here?"
My wife reminded me, Z, believe me.
Oh, man.
All right, my
Thanks.
friend.
You guys are the best, man.
Congrats.
All right. Good luck,
Good
Rob.
luck, Z.
All right. Appreciate you.
All right. We go from one legend to another legend. You know him, you love him. He's the one and only George Chart from Lockport. Sir, congratulations and Happy New Year to you and the Lockport family.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you guys, too.
Yes.
I dropped the call the first time. I didn't know how to swipe the cell thing,
So we have to ask, whose cell are we using tonight?
It's his wife's. It's
the boss, the wife.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just want to make sure, Joe. Okay,
Yeah.
George, all I just got to do is ask me. I know that.
You know that. You're right.
Joe. I apologize.
I call her.
I apologize for Joe. He's a little lightheaded. He's been here for a while. So, Joe, go get a couple of brownies that Debbie made. You'll be fine.
Oh, that sounds good.
We got a party going on here, dude. Are you kidding?
I did hear that. Yeah. Sounds great. You guys got the life.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm in the wrong business.
Oh, I doubt that.
All right.
You're right.
So you draw Dave and Sarah in Maine South.
Correct.
Surprise, not surprise. Fill me in.
Well, no, Edgy Jim, I guess, informed us earlier.
It's my guy.
Yeah, your guy. He kind of let us know that that's what it would be, and I think whoever got that information from, turns to be right. So that's what we're going with.
It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
George.
Yeah, so we, go ahead.
Go. Just talking about the last, let's say 4 or 5 games. I think you and I talked about the defense, but offensively, I think you would say to be more. There's some games that you guys really play well, and some games you just have a hard time just to be more consistent on offense going into next week.
Yeah, this last game I thought we played. Beside the fact that we, turned the ball over 3 times, I thought our offense moved the ball decently. We did fumble, and they picked it up for a 6, and then we were going in for a score, with a minute to go or so, and we fumbled there too. So other than that, I'm kind of happy with what our offense is doing. They're giving us a chance to win, but our defense continues to give up the big play. and you're not going to go very far in playoffs if you can't play defense. So but our kicker's been solid. Our kicking game has been solid. So we've got to fix problems on defense and continue to play well on offense. And I like our chances.
Yeah, got to play the game.
Yep.
Coach, you take a look at how your season's gone, and you've talked about different areas. It does sound like your special teams has been an area that's improved.
Yeah. We've like I said, our cover, everything from our coverage to our kicking. Our kicking was good right from the get-go. Most of the time he's kicking the ball in the end zone. Okay, so teams are starting at the 20, and that makes it awfully hard for them to score. And then every once in a while he'll kick it to the half-yard line, and our coverage will down there, and we'll stop him inside the 20. So things have been good in our kicking game, and he's been kicking 40-yarders consistently, field goals, and our punting team's been decent, and our kick return, Coach Carmen does a great job with our kickoff return. We've been getting field position, usually around the 35 or deeper into their territory. Yeah. So we're happy.
No doubt about it. As far as getting ready for this week, do you approach it differently, or is it basically the same week, whether it's regular season? I mean, obviously the stakes are higher and it's more intense, I'm sure. Is it purposely almost kind of the same prep as a regular game week, or no?
Parts of it are, but the thing that's different is we've got the extra teams from the sophomore. So we're going to get more turns, from scout teams. And that preparation lets us organize things a little different and makes us more efficient in our practice time.
Yeah. Awesome. My friend, first of all, tell the wife we said happy sweetest day.
Oh, well, is it? What?
It is, dude. It is. It is.
Yeah.
You're
I knew
welcome.
that. Yeah,
You're welcome.
I
You're
know,
welcome.
George, I know you knew that.
We got your back, man.
Yeah.
We got you.
No,
Okay?
George
Thank
knew
you.
that.
Thank
I know George.
And again, wish you the best of luck, and go get him, okay?
Yeah, good luck,
Thank you,
George.
sir. All right, you guys.
All right, George Chart joining us from Lockport. And guys, no stopping here. We just keep the train rolling. Hopping on board is head coach Matt Harding and the Minooka Indians. And coach, welcome aboard and Happy New Year.
Awesome. Thanks for having us on.
So we're going to save you right now as well. So, I know you're already dipping into the huddle and getting ready. It happens to be sweetest day as well. Okay. So make sure Mrs. Harding, make sure you're taking good care of your wife there on sweetest day. Okay, Bill?
Yep, for sure. I already got her some candy.
See, you're way ahead of us.
Yeah.
Man, we're bad.
Yeah, I'm bad, man.
Big trouble. Matt, again, surprised at the draw, not surprised at the draw, kind of your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not really surprised at the draw. Our playoff points are pretty low just because of crossover games and our first round game, so I knew where we were going to be overall.
Sandburg is one of those teams in that conference, of course, with Lincoln Way East and Lockport and them. That's kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. But as I look at your team, I mean, defensively, I would stack your team against anybody out there in 80. I just think it's a very outstanding defense. It does a great job. Your front four, Dewey and I were out there when you played Oswego in the rain, and it was raining. It was, believe how hard it was raining at halftime. But again, I just think defensively, you guys get better and better every week, on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Coach Williams does a great job making sure our kids are ready to go. And it's kind of scary is we have 3 injuries on our defense from starters that are not in the football game. So our depth has been pretty well, and our guys that were below them have stepped up pretty well.
Coach, you look at this journey you're on. We were there week 1 against Rock Island, and where you guys are at now heading into the postseason. How do you feel the progress has been overall?
I feel our progress has been pretty good. Our preface has been around our defense and stopping them in the run and pass. and not turning the ball over on offense. So I like where we're at right now.
I'm sorry. I'm a coach. I'm sorry, Coach. Phil was talking to me. I can't even tell you guys what that was. That was so funny though. Any idea? Have you talked to anyone from Sandburg yet, or are you still waiting? Do you kind of wait for the ADs to kind of make that happen?
Still waiting. I was on the email chain earlier with the ADs.
Okay.
And we're trying to figure out when the game is going to be. Still haven't decided on that, but we're just trying to dive into huddle right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No doubt about it. All right, pal. Well, again, I appreciate you taking time and joining us, and we'll let you get back to your huddle film. But again, just congratulations, pal. I'm sure we'll be talking to you a little bit down the road. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
All
Good
right,
luck,
Matt
man.
Harding from Minooka joining us, and we appreciate his time. Guys, we need to take a break because Phil, I think, needs to go use the little boys' room. And it's not a good idea when you have a board op that really has to go, because otherwise he's going to turn the station off and go anyway. So we're going to step aside. We'll take a quick break here. Let Phil take care of business. Don't go anywhere. We're going to bring in Dan Tito from Joliet West, the last coach in the area we haven't talked to, and then we'll give you some thoughts as well. So you are listening to the WJOL Playoff Preview Show on 1340 WJOL Will County's News Talk Sports.
The 1340 WJOL High School Football Game of the Week, presented by the Law Offices of Odekirk, Allred, and Rhodes. When you need the very best on your side, Odekirk, Allred, and Rhodes. With offices in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, and Wilmington. Your peace of mind is just a click away at odekirklaw.com.
Mark your calendars for Sunday, November 12th, when Providence Catholic High School in New Lenox will host its annual open house for all grade school families. Providence is known for its top-ranked programs in academics, fine arts, and athletics, where they have more state championships than any other private school in the state. Did you know that Providence Catholic High School has extensive scholarship and grant programs to make it affordable for all 8th grade families? Want to learn more or visit the school? Go to providencecatholic.org for more information. Become a Celtic and become something greater.
A little elbow grease goes a long way. Discover the way to save at Joliet You Pull It. Bring your tools and dig into one of the area's largest yards with over 1,000 foreign and domestic vehicles to choose from and no entry fee. Joliet You Pull It's friendly staff can tell you exactly where the vehicle is that you're looking for, making it easier than ever to get that used auto part. Plus, their vehicle stands make getting that used auto part safer and more accessible than ever. And because their yard is self-serve, they're able to discount their used auto parts even more than the competition. Got a junk car? Joliet You Pull It wants it. They offer free same-day pickup and will pay you the highest price in the area, guaranteed. Want even more cash in your pocket? Joliet You Pull It buys all metals and will pay you top dollar for them. So get to Joliet You Pull It today. Open 7 days a week at 1014 East Washington Street in Joliet. Call 815-723-3011 or go to JolietYouPullIt.com.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me John Wright at 815-725-5052 today.
A part of our community's rich tradition, St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church at 310 North Broadway Street in Joliet has been sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ for over 165 years and has the nation's longest-running continuous Sunday morning broadcast beginning in 1926. Reverend David Totsky, pastor of St. Peter's, invites you to join them in worship every Sunday for their divine service in person at 9 a.m. or on their radio broadcast at 11 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
All right, welcome back to the WJOL Playoff Pairing Show. No, we haven't left. Yes, we're still on. Stop watching the girls, gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and listen and watch us on YouTube. Hello, everybody. I think it's actually over now. Either that or Phil just got tired of it and put on football.
He did.
All right, we've got one more area, Coach, to get to.
Yes.
But before we do that, Mr. Dwyer, fill us in.
Playoff Pairing Show tonight brought to you in part by the law offices of Odekirk, Aldred, and Rhodes. They're just a click away for you at odekirklaw.com. Providence Catholic High School, who reminds you open house is Sunday, November 12th. And State Farm agent John Wright for the right deal at the right price. Call John Wright, 815-7. And Landis this evening.
Yeah, out them. So, guys, just have, by the way, a little bit of tissue there, but I think we bounce back. Okay, this coach for last because, guys, back in the coaches show back in August, if I were to do Joliet West is going to finish the year 8-1, win a conference championship, win as many regular season games this year than they have since 1969. Joe?
Yes.
You would have laughed at me.
I never laugh at you.
Well, yeah.
I laugh with you, but I never laugh.
You see that coming in that crystal ball or no?
I did not see that coming.
No, the only ones that believe that were this guy on the phone and his team. And, of course, joining us is Joliet West head coach Dan Tito, who has his team in the 8A playoffs and the 8-1 regular season record. He gets a home game in the first round. That alone, ladies and gentlemen, get you guys pumped up.
It's huge.
Okay?
Huge.
A home game in the first round. And again, Dan Tito, I hope you guys are having a great night tonight, and I hope you guys are truly celebrating this accomplishment. I know there's bigger things down the road, but you know what? Darn it. You guys better be enjoying yourself tonight.
For sure, Dan.
Yes, I mean it's been an incredible season. We're lucky to have such a talented and just awesome group of seniors and juniors, and you know it's been a wild ride, and we're excited to keep it going though. And as you said, it's very exciting for us to have the home playoff game and Clinton Conference Championship. But you know we want to stay together because you know we've built a great community on our team.
What'd you do tonight? What'd the team do?
You know what? We got together as coaches, and we're starting to break down film now of St. Ignatius, and you know we're also bonding with some coaches' families right now too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Guys,
Dan, speaking of St. Ignatius, did you see that small fullback they have?
Yeah, he's. I mean, if you've ever seen me, I'm about 5'6".
I've seen you.
Yeah, about the same.
Yeah, you're about the same. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's a big boy. He's a big guy, and you know, he runs hard. He's deceptively fast. Like the kid can move. So you know, he's obviously a hell of an athlete, and God bless him.
Yeah, for sure. He's a big dude. Who's right. Now with the healthier team, I know you've got Juan Rico back, which probably gave you a tremendous boost. How is the other guys that were kind of maybe injured about 3-4 weeks ago? Are they coming back on the team now?
Yeah, I mean we're pretty much good except for 2 injuries that we lost from earlier in the season. LaDainian Tucker, who we lost week 2, and then Ian Farrell, who we lost a couple weeks ago. But other than that, we've been very healthy. And again, Tyvon's run great in LaDainian's stead. And then Peyton Turner has done awesome stepping up for Ian Farrell.
Joe?
Coach, when you look at St. Ignatius, one thing we do know is with their trip to the area last week, they'll know exactly how long it takes to get to your place.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah, and they had a great game against JC and obviously got the win. So, you know, we're looking to make our mark.
Did the draw surprise you at all?
No, I feel like over the last week or so, it's been a lot of St. Ignatius in the air. So the draw didn't really surprise me. And here's the brass tacks. When you play 8A playoff football, everyone's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, it doesn't matter the seed you have. You're going to draw a really good team.
Yeah. No, 100%, no doubt about it. I'll ask you what I asked George Chart earlier. Does the prep change? I mean, obviously, you can bring some kids up for it. Not sure what your plans are with that. I mean, I'm sure you can more bodies to do more things, and I'm sure you'll probably take advantage of that as well. But fundamentally, does it change, or is it just kind of the similar prep week?
And we are going to pull kids up, and some kids will have the opportunity to maybe contribute in the game. Most kids are being brought up to help us get ready for our game as well. But fundamentally, our prep won't change. You know, all season we've had an emphasis on keeping our kids fresh and ready for a game, and that's going to be our emphasis again this week. How can we have a practice week that's both efficient and also keeps our kids fresh and ready for Friday?
Right.
Yeah.
Who do you talk? Is there someone you talk to out there? Is there a mentor out there? Or is it someone you know that has kind of been through this? How do you go about with that prep?
To be honest, and you know, this is something that my offensive coordinator and I, Pete Nackett, have talked about. We had a mentor at the beginning of our career named Luke Yaklich, who's now the head basketball coach at UIC. But then he moved on to UIC, obviously, to bigger and better things. And we've kind of been our own mentors. So just kind of going back and trying to make each other better all the time. And that's what we've been trying to do. So it's really just been us trying to challenge each other and along with the other coaches on the staff who have also stepped up to kind of put the work in.
How exciting is the building these days because of all this?
Oh, yes. Yeah, there's a huge excitement in the building. I feel there's an excitement in the community. I've had a whole bunch of people come up to me and just kind of talk about how excited they are, how proud they are, you know, being a West grad or, you know, being a part of our West community. And it's amazing how many people have come out to me and told me that they're West grads. The gentleman that, you know, got me on the phone said, hey, my wife, my father-in-law, they're West grads. And it's been exciting seeing people be proud of being associated with Joliet West because I believe we have a great school and it's something to be proud of.
Phil Cantu, board operator, Joliet West grad. Not you? My wife. Yep. Oh, your wife, Mallory. Yeah, Mallory. Okay, my bad. And Hawk. Yep. Denise O'Halloran.
Oh boy.
Denise O'Halloran, Joliet West grad. So yeah. There's definitely some people out there, and I can guarantee you they're excited for what's already happened and Dan for what's to come. And again, just you know, we're going to be talking again a little bit later in the week.
Yes.
And again, just nothing but the best of luck to you and the Tigers, and go get them, pal. Okay.
Yeah. Good luck, Dan.
All right. Thank you guys. And thank you all the support you've given us all season.
Well, it ain't going anywhere. So it'll be there.
We're going to stay here.
All right, Dan.
All right.
Take care, bud.
You too.
All right. Dan Tito drops off. There you go, guys. That was how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
13.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 coaches in what? A little under 2 hours?
Yep.
And a couple of breaks?
Not bad.
All right. So I'm not going to ask you to break down all of whatever classes. We're going to do that Thursday. So we'll have a couple of guests, but I think we're going to talk and do a lot of our breakdown on pigskin for this. What I do want to ask is, as far as you're the programmer of 1340 WJOL, there is one game. They're all going to be played Friday at 7:00. What game do you cover? Joe, we'll start with you.
I say we go either one or two ways, but for being...
No, we already have one official time announced already.
Okay.
Wilmington hosting Mercer County Saturday, 4:00.
Okay.
Per Jeff Reentz.
Okay.
So that one's done. Go ahead, Joe.
I would like to do Joliet West simply because of the story, or Lincoln Way Central.
Okay.
Because it's both those teams to me were nowhere at the beginning and they're at the end.
Dave Dwyer.
Well, you could go south and have 2 tin cans and do Providence and JCA.
You could. Well, yeah. I would hope you could possibly work that out from a time standpoint, right? When you think?
All depends on the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's obviously listen later in the week. We'll So basically how this works is the coach will start. I'll text the coaches tomorrow morning. They'll start replying back to me. Go to the Edgy Free board. I always put them on there. So we'll have all the days and the times, certainly for this area, and then we try to get as many across the state as we can. IHSA, I think, officially comes out like on Tuesday, I think.
Yes.
They come out, but we'll have it before then. If it was up to me, I think the possibilities of the best first-round game in the area is going to be JCA Peoria. That has a chance to be a monster game. Two very similar styles of program. See, people have this misconception that Peoria slings it around the field. They really don't. They're a run team. Now, they'll go no huddle, and they'll onside kick every single kick. So they're going to throw everything and then some at you. And Tim Thornton does a really good job with that team. But that should be a great game. You get out of that, you got a chance to make some noise. But I almost tend to agree with Joe as far as in the Joliet West thing. Right. I mean, that is a huge story.
Yep.
And also Lincoln Way Central as well, just the quick success like that. But honestly, guys, you can't go really wrong with any of the games in the area. But again, we're not paid to make those decisions. The guy who programs this station makes that decisions. But we got a lot of people to thank. I want to thank Daniel Dwyer here in the studio for hanging out with us and helping us. Did a great job. Phil Cantu, you're the man, dude. Always good to have you here. Our sponsors, Dewey.
Jody's Hot Dogs, State Farm agent John Wright. Providence Catholic High School reminds you their open house is coming up on Sunday, November 12th, and the law offices of Odekirk, Allred, and Rhodes.
Again, we could not have done this show without them, so we appreciate them hopping on here at the last minute and letting us come in here and goof off for a couple hours. So, all right, I think that's going to do it. Phil, what do you think? Are you ready to shut it down and move on? All right, for everyone here in the studio, don't go anywhere because we'll be back. Okay, you have to go somewhere. We'll be back Thursday. Pigskin preview on Thursday. I'm going to say listen to Slocum probably, Monday for the Big Five. I'm going to say probably Tuesday with game times and dates, and we'll have quite a bit of them for tomorrow or for Monday, hopefully. And then I'm sure Scott will announce the broadcast, and we will move forward from there. Rita, thank you so much. Rita with a nice message into us about the show, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed bringing it to you. Glad to be back home with these guys and doing a playoff show because I definitely missed it. So, all right. For the guys, I'm Edgy Tim. Thanks for listening. We'll be back Thursday night for Pigskin Preview. This has been the WJOL Playoff Preview Show on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. Good night, everybody.